So, in today's episode, the last episode of Xylund and Gayle and Loreholt, entitled Xylund Broke Gayle. Xylund and Gayle basically faff about Loreholt for a day or so, inadvisably taking intoxicants, suffering the after effects, breaking Gayle's heart into so many pieces, and taking in a show. We hope you enjoy.
Huzzah.
Huzzah. Alright. Did you remember what happened in our last adventure?
Yeah, I passed out.
Is that all you remember?
I learned some stuff. I kicked down some doors.
Are you making tea now? Like you
The tea is made. I'm just pouring it.
Okay. I'm so glad you waited until you started recording.
I've been busy for the last half hour. I've been fucking with this computer.
A?
Racist.
Say strawberry.
Strawberry.
All Canadians say it weird. Okay.
No, how did you say it?
Strawberry?
How did I say it?
You said it strawberry.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
Strawberry.
See, now you're just mimicking me, though.
I'm not. That's how I said it the first time. You're projecting your racist preconceptions onto me.
No. So anyway, in the last session, Strawberry aside.
No, go
What?
on.
Flip tables. No flipping tables.
Go on.
Oh, no, I'm filling you in because apparently you don't remember what happened last time.
No, I remember, but you should summarize.
Okay. So yeah, you passed out last time.
Yep.
Yep.
So I'm out for 2 days?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens when I wake up?
Whatever you want to happen when you wake up. You do have that -3 to your constitution. I don't know if you made a note of that or not.
I don't either.
But you have it, please do.
Oh, I've got my own little section now. Characters too.
Oh yeah, because I didn't want things to be crowded. I took anybody who wasn't in the Loreholt game and moved them. But you should still be able to access it and everything.
So how long does this -3 to Constitution from broken? 1 level of exhaustion. How long do these ill effects last?
Well, you don't have any levels of exhaustion.
Oh, that's gone. Yay!
Right, because you slept for 2 days. So the exhaustion has corrected itself. The -3 you'll have for today for 24 hours, and then you'll have to do another Constitution check to see how you're feeling, and that will determine whether you continue to have withdrawal effects or if you're able to get past it.
So if I even have a drink today, that's going to be bad.
That's going to be bad.
So how do I wake up feeling?
Well, you would wake up feeling like you're missing 3 points of Constitution. You'd wake up feeling kind of drained and kind of tired, and your arms are kind of leaden, and I mean, mentally you're not affected, but yeah, definitely feel like you partied pretty hard.
Okay. Is Gayle around?
Well, Gayle got his own room. He made sure that you made it inside your room. I don't know, he wasn't gonna come put you to bed or anything, but he made sure you made it physically inside your room and then shut the door so you could sleep. Then you wake up alone.
Well, I have no idea where Gayle is, so I'll go down and get some to eat.
Okay. It's
Oh, is all my money still on me?
yeah, all your stuff is still with you.
Okay.
Now, when you initially wake up, I mean, it'll be fairly late at night because you went to bed at midnight.
Right.
So it's still, technically midnight, early morning. You can choose to sleep till dawn, or you can get up and do stuff now.
I'll get up and see if I can get some to eat.
Okay. The kitchen isn't really open, but the barmaid on duty can get you like some scraps.
Okay,
Like
that'll do.
some leftover stew or something. But they're not really taking orders.
I will eat what they have.
Okay.
Imagine I'm pretty hungry.
Yeah, I bet so. You've been out for 2 days. Nobody has seen you. Probably thought you were dead.
I'll ask if they know where the lad I came into town is. The lad I came to town with is.
They, the barmaid says she assumed he was in his room. She saw him go up.
Where's his room?
Well, she didn't keep track of that. Just upstairs somewhere.
Are you gonna make me knock on everyone's doors to find the lad?
She looks a little cross. Could just wait till morning. Comes downstairs.
Yeah, that's not an option. You don't have numbers on your rooms? Let me suggest a few improvements to your establishment here. 1, numbers on doors. 2, 24-hour kitchen. Not that this awful isn't wonderful in its own way. I'm just kidding.
I would not put it past Xylund. Not in the slightest.
Well, Zion said that, but he followed up with, I'm just kidding.
Ah. And she looks a little annoyed. Walks away, no longer interested in serving this gray-streaked man.
Or I
Eating
didn't even
cold
have a bath.
stew. No. So you're still gray-streaked. Your bed's just a big mess of ash.
Where would I go to get a bath? I ask her.
We have baths here. I mean, clearly we're not up to your standards, but we do have baths.
Could I get a bath, please?
Yes. Suppose.
Would it be too much to ask for a change of sheets as well?
I suppose.
So you really
Doesn't
have
seem
no
like-
idea where my friend is staying?
I don't know.
How many rooms do you have?
We have 20.
And you don't have any numbers on them?
No.
Well, how do you know, like when you're saying, go clean out such and such room, how do you refer to them?
We just knock.
Oh, talking amongst yourselves, I mean.
Yeah.
So let's say that the innkeep told you to go clean such and such room. How would he refer to that room?
Well, very rarely does he say go clean this particular room. Normally we just go around and clean all the rooms at once, but I suppose if he wanted a particular room clean, he would say go to the 7th door on the left.
Okay. Oh, but so even going by that designation, you still don't know what room he's in.
Well, no, the keys aren't marked 3rd door on the right, 7th door on the left. Just keys.
How do you know which key goes to which door then?
We assume you'll figure it out.
You mean you just give out keys and make people wander down the hallway trying them in every lock?
Mm-hmm. Well, the doors are usually open, so, you know.
The doors are open. What if someone who's not staying here goes in and farts on a pillow or something?
Well, that's the risk you take now, isn't it?
I take it back. I'm not kidding. Your establishment needs some serious improvements. But can I still get that bath?
He nods. He says, the baths are behind the stairs. deliberately turns her back to you and pretends to be doing something in the far corner of the bar.
So there were 2 tiefling waitresses here, you said, I think?
Yes. Initially there were 2. Now there's only 1.
And this is one?
This is 1.
They weren't twins or anything, were they?
No.
Okay.
You'll be able to tell them apart.
Alright, this is the one I have to avoid from now on.
Yes. Yes. This is the one you don't want to mess with anymore.
So I will, finish my food and leave her an electrum piece as a tip.
God. Alright. That's guaranteed to get you another face.
Another what?
Another face.
It's money. It's worth more than a silver piece.
It's like somebody paying for their groceries in dimes.
Well,
It's
would you rather have a
technically
silver
money.
piece?
No, the extra piece is fine.
No, I'll give you a silver piece.
She's not paying attention to you, so you can give her whatever you want.
Alright,
I think she's just written you off as an asshole.
that's fair enough. She doesn't know that I spent half an hour before I woke up wrestling with technical issues in my dreams.
No, she doesn't.
Alright, I'll go have a bath.
Alright, so you take a cold bath because nobody will come warm it up for you. She pissed off the barmaid on duty.
Isn't there like a fire in here where I could some water?
Mm-mm.
What about the fire in the common room?
Well, the fire in the common room is lit, but
Is there like a cauldron I could commandeer?
no. No, it looks like it's heated up by buckets. And you don't have a bucket.
I poked my head out again. Did you notice the tip I left for you?
Her back is completely to you and the baths, and she is not turning around. If she can hear you, she gives no indication of that.
Alright, well if she's not looking, I'll go over to the fire and I'll scoop up some ash for later.
Okay. You're just gonna carry it in your hands?
I've still got my shitty cloak. I'll sort of lay that out on the ground, scoop some ash into it, sort of wrap it up.
Okay. There are other patrons, of course. It's not so late as to have the bar be empty. Who give you an odd look as you do this. But they don't stop you.
That's good.
They're probably talking amongst themselves about you, but they don't stop you.
So I'll
Now
go
you-
stow the ash up in my room and then have a bath. A cold bath, I guess.
Okay. You have your cold bath, your cloak full of ashes stowed safely in your room. Now you're bald, dirty clothes. So you got ashes in the middle of the night, tending towards dawn. And you feel like somebody just scraped you off the bottom of their boot.
I guess I'll go down and wait in the common area for... Actually, no, I'll lay in my bed and just sort of stare at the ceiling until dawn starts to happen. If I can
Okay.
sleep a little bit, I do, but
Okay.
I don't want to sleep for another 2 days.
Okay. I don't think you'll sleep for another 2 days. You're pretty sleeped out, I think.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. Dawn does show up, as it usually does. You can hear the other doors on your floor open and close.
Well, once the sun's up, I go downstairs and wait for Gayle to show up.
Okay. He does. come down eventually. He looks well rested, anyway. He spots you immediately. Have you applied your ashes again, or are you?
No, I'm still clean for now.
You're clean Xylund now. Okay.
Actually, wait. Before I leave the room, I do put on the ashes.
Okay.
I should probably stay undercover.
Okay.
I'm a wanted man.
Okay. I feel like you should do some sort of roll for that, but I don't know what it would be.
For ashes?
Yes.
Performance, maybe?
Yeah, roll performance.
Deception?
Deception's usually like mannerisms.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't
stuff.
matter. They're both the same.
Okay,
The same bonus.
Roll them.
Yay!
Hey, that's a good job. Good job. So even without benefit of a mirror, you're able to put together a fairly convincing gray mule look.
So I wait for Gayle.
Okay. And he does wander down eventually. And his clothes are clean. He looks pretty well rested. Sees you kind of sitting there. Wanders over to you.
How long was I out for?
2 days.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
I went and talked to Rana again. Toddled around the library a bit. Just sort of took in the sights a little.
Learn anything interesting?
Well, I mean, there's lots of interesting things. Nothing that's real pertinent to whatever project you're working on. I came in and poked you a few times, and you were alive. So.
How do you spell Rana? That's the one that we talked to already, the augmented eye.
Yeah, she's the cleric that you talked to before.
She was a dwarf, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How do you spell her name?
Rana.
Okay.
She's the one who taught you about the pictographs and things built into the stone.
I remember just... Okay. Could you arrange another meeting with Rana?
Probably. Why?
Well, I feel a little bad about Nodoran's situation over there. He's got no protection. Falarun, it seems like a sort of cut him adrift, and he's just gonna stay indoors and drink himself to death until someone comes in and cuts his throat and steals all what's left of his stuff. So I was wondering if maybe I could give him a bit of a grace period to get his shit together by getting the augmented eye to protect the place for a month or so.
Wow.
I was wondering what it would cost me.
How much money do you have?
Well, maybe I can pay in something other than coin. How much money do you have?
Shoot first.
I'm older.
I don't care.
Well, I don't care that you asked first.
Well, I guess we're at an impasse, aren't we?
I guess we are, Gayle. So can you arrange a meeting? Also, I need to... I'll deal with that later.
What?
Oh, I need to fix his door, too.
In his window?
Whatever. His door inside and his window outside.
How much stuff did you smash?
Just the two things.
Okay.
Also, maybe get a look at his gun.
Okay. So are we going back there through the front door or through the back door?
Well, it depends. If he answers the front door, we'll go in that way.
Okay.
What else? I think that's it. So can you arrange a meeting with...
Yeah, I can arrange a meeting with Rana, yeah.
Okay, so I'll see about getting some repairmen over there to fix the shit that someone broke.
You better have some serious coin if you
Why?
want
It's
to fix
just a
that
door.
window. The window.
Well, maybe I'll just board that up then, if it's going to be expensive.
It is going to be expensive.
Well, I'll do that myself then. It'll give me an excuse to go over there.
Okay.
The door should be pretty cheap though, eh?
Depends on the door, I guess. That house is pretty old.
Well, it doesn't have to be a nice door, just any old door will do. I mean, let's not go crazy. He's not gonna know, he's drunk all the time.
Gale's just sitting in his chair, looking at his hands, having a silent conversation with himself.
I'm potentially arranging for a month's protection for the guy. I think that's enough. I think we're square after that if I manage to pull that off.
Alright.
Also, in your wanderings, did you happen to run into any blood moss dealers?
I went to the library and I saw a show. No, I didn't.
What show did you see? Did you see cats?
No, I didn't see cats. God.
Was it Hamilton?
No,
It was
I
Hamilton.
couldn't get tickets. I was sold out.
Where do they have shows? I want to see a show.
They have shows. They have underground theaters here. Just never mind.
Did you hear anything about Not Orin while you were, taking in the underground theater scene?
People have been whispering, yeah.
About
He
what?
he hasn't done any shows lately.
Hmm. Okay.
What are you thinking?
I'm
Where
wondering
you
if
have
there's
that look on your face.
I'm wondering if there's a way we can jumpstart his creative juices with narcotics, so that he can maybe learn to, pull his own weight. I feel bad for the guy. I mean, Fairguard just left him. He's fucked. Like if he doesn't get his shit together, he's gonna be living on the streets.
Is he?
Well, it seems like it. I don't think he can take care of himself.
Maybe the family's executor does it for him. And if Fergar is everything that you and I have decided that he is, he's got a family executor. Nobody keeps money in their house. Nobody with money keeps money in their house.
He let the protection lapse, though.
Did he?
That's what's his face said. Not Orin.
Didn't you say he was stoned, though? Yeah, I'm assuming there is no protection in the house or we'd be dead, especially if it was the Falaran. We'd be dead. But you said he was drunk or stoned or a combination thereof. Maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, arrange a meeting with Rana.
Alright.
Also, when you're done that, maybe you can direct me in where this underground theater scene is happening. I bet these actor types know how to get some inspirational drugs.
Well, Rana would be the person to talk to. She's pretty enthusiastic about the art scene in Moorholt. Such as it is. Yeah.
Are you guys like an item now? Did you take her on a date?
Just shut up, just Xylund. I don't want to talk. Just...
No, but seriously, did you take her on a date?
It's been a really quiet 2 days, man, okay? Gosh.
Gayle and Rana sitting in a tree.
Did you just I'm done with you. I'm done with you. Yeah. And why I introduce you to anybody?
So anyway, in case it isn't clear, we're just going to hang out here for today, and I'm not feeling 100%.
You don't look 100%. You look kind of gray.
That's just my natural complexion.
Are you sure?
Yes?
Why does that barmaid look so pissed off?
I suggested some improvements you could make to the establishment.
Well, that's nice. All right, I'll see if Rana's available today, but don't be you. Just, ask your questions, but just, take it down a few notches, okay?
Don't worry, I won't screw up the thing you got going with Ron.
I don't have a thing.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a thing.
How quickly they grow up.
Shut up. Just shut up. Just sit there and don't talk to anybody, okay?
No, I gotta go talk to a repairman. I'll be back in a little bit to talk to Rana, though.
Alright. Just don't talk to anyone more than you have to.
Okay. So are there two waitresses now?
No, there's still just the one. It's still fairly early in the morning. Like pubs don't usually start picking up until lunchtime. So it's still the same barmaid that you dealt with last night.
I asked Gayle, could you ask, what's her name? The barmaid.
You don't know. She's never introduced herself.
I'm asking Gayle.
Gayle doesn't seem to know either.
You've been here 2 days, man.
Yeah?
Well, anyway, could you ask her where someone, not me, but someone, anyone, might be able to find a cheap door repairman?
Why would she know that?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll ask her. He goes over to the bar and calls her over, and they have a short but apparently pleasant conversation. And Gayle comes wandering back. She says just go to the trade area outside Ironhelm Market.
Okay.
You know, the place we walked through to get here?
Yep.
There's all the construction and contracting people are there.
Well, then that's where I'll go.
Okay.
I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, looks concerned as you head out the door.
I pull up my hood and head off.
Alright. So now you're out on the town. It's daytime. The market's just starting to pick up. People are opening their shops and their stalls.
So I go try to find a dude to repair a door.
Okay. You make your way to the industrial area. And it is also starting to get into full swing. You've got people working in sort of open air kind of stalls, blacksmiths by the looks of it. There's a lot of hammering. It's very hot. It's very dirty here, as opposed to the somewhat clean Ironhelm Market. You do notice there's no flags here. There's no banners through most of the area that you're walking in. A lot of these people, they're either independent or they don't like to show their affiliation the way that the market stalls do.
Okay.
It's mostly dwarves and gnomes in this area, as one would imagine. But there is no overt sign that says door fixers or anything like that.
I'll sort of gravitate to the gnomes so that I don't have to deal with any possible mule racism.
Okay. All right. So just towards the first gnome you see.
Yep. I need a door fixed.
Okay.
I'd also like to rent a hammer and buy some boards. And nails.
I'm gonna need some sort of persuasion or charisma check or something.
I'm good at persuasion.
All right, roll persuasion.
Fuck
Nope.
me! With advantage because of my...
You get no advantage.
Damn it.
Damn it.
Realizing that I fucked up, I don't even wait for his reply, I just move on.
Just move on.
I see the expression on his face. The sort of nonplussed way he looks at me, and I'm like, okay, moving on. Gnome number 2.
Gnome number 2. Shame spiel.
Yep.
All right.
Here we go.
Hey. Second gnome. Obviously hasn't had a chance to talk to the first gnome.
That's because I moved so fast. I was
Yep.
just like, goodbye, first gnome.
Yep. Word of your coming has not spread throughout the industrial sector. So yes, the second gnome that you happen across can't help you specifically. He's just a cooper. So, about what size boards were you thinking?
Big enough to fix a window. Well, not fix. Board over a window.
Well, how big's the window?
I show him with my arms how big it was.
Oh. What quality of wood are you looking for?
Doesn't have to be great. Just enough to keep the drafts out. That's basically my concern.
That's fair enough. I can sell you some slots pretty cheap. The rest of it though, the the nails I have won't be sufficient. And I don't really have a hammer for sale.
But no, I don't want to buy the hammer. I don't need a hammer. I just need to rent it.
Well, even so, it's mine. But there are blacksmiths, and he points out a couple of stalls a little further in. And they'll probably sell you or rent one, I suppose.
Do I have Tinker's tools?
Yes.
Oh, is there a hammer in there?
Yes.
Okay, fuck this. I have a hammer. I pull in, reach into my belt. I found one.
Wow.
It was a trick question.
It was a trick question.
You failed.
God damn it. Oh my god.
So Xylund's standing there cackling at his own joke.
As the gnome begins to fear for his life.
No, I will take those boards though. Wait, do I have nails in there too?
In your tinker's kit?
Yeah.
You just have the hammer in your toolkit. I don't think you've progressed enough in your Artificer class, your Gadgeteer class, to have the magical workshop yet.
No, I think that was second, or well, it was one up from where I am, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Because that would give you.
Oh, there it is.
Hooray.
Yeah, magical toolkit is 3rd level.
Okay.
I can do repair, schema, tool expertise, wondrous invention. Yeah, I've got all that stuff. Item creation. Ooh. Yeah, screw Paladin. I'm just gonna be a gadgeteer from now on. Okay.
Alright. So yeah, he'll sell you some slots.
Alright. How much was that?
A few coppers. Whatever you think's fair.
Oh.
You did have a very good persuasion check.
I'll give him 5 coppers. Does he seem happy with that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll happily trade a handful of slats.
Okay. Could you direct me to someone who can fix doors? Or, yeah, doors. Interior doors.
Interior doors.
Doesn't have to be like an artisan, just someone who has a door and can hang it up.
All right. Well, carpenter, I suppose. A couple of those here. The fancy ones are back at the market if you're looking for.
I'm not looking for a fancy one.
Okay.
Also, I'd prefer to deal with gnomes as opposed to dwarves. Or humans. Humans are fine. It's just dwarves are slightly racist towards my kind. And I tire of dealing with their ignorance.
He looks mildly confused, but
My kind being mule, obviously. Not that I need to tell you, as the hue of my complexion.
That's a deception check, Mr. Xylund.
Yay! Sort of yay. Pretty good.
That's decent. That's decent. I'm sure the hit to your charisma is helping pull off the gray pallor here, in conjunction with your ashes. He kind of nods earnestly. Says, I understand. You know, folks got their biases. What have you. I do know a few gnomish carpenters. Ain't many, but I could probably take you to one.
Oh, thanks.
Want to come this way?
What's your name, by the way?
Just Cooper.
I offer my hand and say, Klasm Limpy Schlazerum. You can just call me Limpy.
All right, then. So the Cooper takes you down through the market, carefully avoiding the dwarven smithies, of which there are many, and sort of takes you to the back, this little hole in the wall. There's not a whole lot of carpentry areas because there aren't a whole lot of trees in Loreholt. Because you don't really go cutting down treaty woods. But he takes you to one sort of ramshackle little shop, and there are 3 gnomes inside. And he kind of puts out a hand. He's like, "You just wait here." He pats your belt. He goes inside and appears to be having a conversation with one or many of them. It's a language you don't understand, so it's probably Gnomish. Since you speak Dwarven.
Right.
And he pops back out just a couple minutes later and says, yeah, these boys will help you. All right. I told them to go easy on you on account of, solidarity and all.
Thanks.
He just nods. Like, I hope everything works out for you.
Yeah. It was nice to meet you.
Well, he just kind of nods, wanders back to his own shop.
Okay.
And the other 2 gnomes have disappeared into the back of the stall. But the bravest of the 3 peeps his way out. And he's just covered in sawdust from head to foot. The little guy. He wanders up and looks up at you. So, you need a door?
Yeah, I just need a door. It doesn't have to be a good one, just as long as it's, a door. And I need it hung up too because I'm not... Well, I could probably do it, but I don't want to.
Okay. How big?
I sort of vaguely motion with my arms how big it was. Do you want to come measure it?
Yeah, seems like that'd be the best. Is it your place?
No. No. But I'm on... Well, how about I'll go talk to the owner while you hang back, and depending on how that goes, I'll pay you for your trouble either way, but we'll see how it goes, basically.
All right. You just wander back to the shop when you're ready, then.
Okay.
He kind of gives you a strange look, but he goes back inside to work on whatever he was working on before you came.
Could I rent a hammer? Oh wait, I have a hammer.
You
I
have a
forgot.
hammer.
Could I buy some nails?
I suppose so. How many did you need?
Enough to board up a window.
How big of a window?
I show him how big a window.
You need to get better with your communication skills. Like, you can draw diagrams and stuff, man.
Well, I didn't measure the door or the window though.
I can spare a handful.
All right.
If you don't mind.
Pardon?
I could spare a handful if you don't mind them, not being the best.
Oh, I don't mind, as long as they hold boards over a window.
Well, they should.
Okay, good.
Unless you're trying to drill them into stone or something.
Am I? Was there a wooden frame around this window?
There's a very thin wooden frame around that window that held the glass in.
In my expert artificer opinion, is it thick enough to hold a nail to hang the boards over the window?
In your expert artificer opinion, you recall that there were interior shutters that you could repair. So you'd be hammering wood into wood.
Okay, so that works then.
Yeah.
Alright.
You'd be okay. So he sells you a handful of nails.
For how much?
Whatever you think's fair, I suppose.
I drop a copper piece into his hand, see how he takes that.
That's a face.
I drop another one. Drop
Face.
another one.
Face.
Drop another one.
Face.
They're nails, man!
They're iron.
Oh, that makes sense. I drop another one.
I begrudgingly will take that.
Remember that you're going to be getting my business in a sec too, so...
Oh, yeah. Alright. Sells you nails, wanders back to his shop.
I'll go over to Not Orin's place.
Okay. Wander your way through the market, through Noble Garden, back to Stone Alley.
Do I see any signs of movement inside?
No.
So I go up to the gate. Still closed, I guess?
Mhm.
And there's no bell pull or anything like that?
Mm-mm.
Nothing to knock on?
Not really, no.
God damn it. Can I tell which window is from outside?
His window would probably be in the back, just judging from the way the house was laid out, because the front part of the house was that great room that was sort of set up as almost like a massive ballroom, and then you went upstairs and it was along the back half of the house where the office and his room were. So from the front, you're gonna see is that main living room, that main great room. Assuming the windows and the curtains were drawn, which they don't appear to be.
I'll go around to the back.
Okay.
Is it alley-ish enough back here that I won't be seen if I try to grapple over the fence?
Well, it's broad daylight, but there's not a lot of foot traffic in this area, unlike Noble Garden, which has a fairly lively custom throughout the day. Stone Alley is almost solely residential, so there's not a whole lot going on here.
So from back here, can I tell which is his window?
From the absolute back of the house, you could, yeah.
Okay. Is it shuttered or?
Not that you can tell.
And the windows are glass?
Yeah, all the windows are glass.
Is it too high and too far away for me to throw pebbles at it?
Yeah, it would definitely be too high, too far away. You'd have to scale the fence at least.
What about a rock? Could I huck a rock up at it?
Yeah, that would be a heck of a rock throw.
Sounds like a challenge.
All right.
I'm gonna look around for a rock.
Well, there's plenty of rocks. It's called Stone Alley.
Okay. I'll find a rock that looks like it's big enough to go. Like I want to throw it so that it hits the glass without actually shattering it. So like a, I don't know, medium rock.
Okay.
Would that be athletics?
Yes.
To throw it?
Yes. That's a good one. You huck a rock, hits the glass. Glass kind of cracks a little.
Shit.
Her face appears.
I wave.
Just like that? That's how you wave?
Yeah.
Like a door. And the face disappears from the window. Couple beats pass. And you hear a voice echoing down the street. Where the hell are you?
Does it sound like it's coming from the front?
Yeah.
Okay, go around to the front.
And
It's me,
there's
Limpy, remember me?
Not Orin the Not Bard. Hanging out of its front door. Not really.
I was here 2 days ago.
Oh. Are you here about the ad I placed?
Depends, what was the ad for?
Just a second. Door shuts. And you're left standing on, again, you're still outside the fence. Like, he hasn't actually left the house at all. He's only been hanging out the front door talking to you. Probably a half hour passes. Where you're just standing outside this fence. And then the front door opens again, and out comes Not Oren, the Not Bard, dressed appropriately, wearing a fairly high-class looking outfit, but very flashy. He's got this big hat, big almost tri-corner hat with big old plumage in it. Everything is purple and shiny and gold thread, and he's dressed to the nines now, completely night and day from the last time you saw him. And he actually leaves the house and comes to the front gate and unlocks it from his side and swings one side of it open for you. He said, "The ad I placed. You must be here about that. Come inside, come inside."
Alright. You clean up pretty good.
Well, you have my reputation to uphold, of course. You would expect nothing less, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of sweeps you inside the house and into the parlor. And he points to that little kind of living room setup that's in the far corner, little couches that were back there. Have a seat, have a seat. And he starts going from window to window and opening the drapes and letting some sunlight in. It takes a minute because they're big-ass, heavy-ass drapes. But he gets it going. Because you're my first respondent, I think.
Which paper did you put it in? Or how many
Paper?
papers? Where would you put the ad?
Oh, I just passed a little coin to some of the criers, you know.
Ah, right.
Dropped words here and there. Only the best, of course. You know, reputable, all that. And eventually after he's finished fussing with the curtains, makes his way over and he sits down in one of the chairs nearby. So, tell me why you're drawn to this opportunity.
Well, I feel that mules have been given a bad rap throughout history, and I would like to change that by stretching outside the bounds of what is generally considered the province of mules.
I see. So you are literate then? I mean, I understand it's a rude question, but it is sort of the heart of the position. You understand?
Right. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I'm literate.
Good.
I can read Common and Dwarvish.
Oh, well, very good.
Since I'm a mule. Makes sense. If you think about it for a sec.
I'm going to make you roll deception if you say it one more time. Don't make me. That's good. So no gnomish then, just the dwarvish.
Well, I have a friend who reads Gnomish.
Well, right now, I mean, I would obviously enjoy having more than one, but I think for this trial period, one chronicler is more than enough for now.
So, you want me to be your biographer?
Well, that is the position.
I think the town crier I heard, maybe it was a little bit hazy. I think maybe he was a bit hungover.
Ah, well, some people can't handle the drink, you know. So you're not interested? Not interested in shaking off the chains of muledom and embracing your fate, working with a world-class performer, seeing the world, any of that?
Seeing the world, so you're going to go traveling?
Well, maybe not at first. I think it would be important to really explore the roots of what I do here and just how I became the voice of Loreholt. So for the foreseeable future, it would be very much local, but ideally, yes.
Actually, this isn't what I care about at all. I'll be straight with you. I was here a couple nights ago. You were a little bit drunk. I was looking for information about a friend of mine and some other matters. We had a talk up in your bedroom. You were drunk on vapor wine, I think. What's that stuff called?
Yeah, you're right.
Vapor wine? You pointed a gun at me, but then we became good buddies. And I broke a door down and smashed a window, and I'm here to fix that.
You broke my door?
Well, I mean, not your door, it's the other Orin's door. We got in a big conversation about that. I'd also like, you mentioned when last we spoke that this place was no longer under the Falaroon's protection.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case. Frog's muck?
Excuse me?
Would you like some frog's muck? It seems like we've gotten off on the wrong foot. Maybe that'll ease the tension a bit.
As he kind of seems to collect himself for a moment. Like, he looks genuinely disturbed as you describe the situation, but he collects himself pretty quickly. I never touch the stuff. It rots the brain, damages the throat, that sort of thing.
Actually, I think you mentioned that last time. You did smoke some of my blood moss, though. I don't know if you remember that.
I am quite sure that I have never touched blood moss. Not. And he kind of catches himself a little bit. I'm not quite sure how you know what you know.
You told me.
Without proof, I have no reason to believe you.
Alright, well, let me tell you some other things about you. There's a dude who does all the writing that you perform. He's left you here, and gone off into the world, and you're not sure when or if he's coming back. You can't read. Your name's not Orin. I mean, I'm not trying to freak you out here, but this is all stuff you told me. I'm worried about you. Like, you were in a pretty bad way last time we met.
His face, he's just mortified at this point.
Like, this thing about, Durgar, who you know is the other Orin, I guess. Him leaving you behind and without any protection, that seems like something I can maybe help with. While you sort of get your shit together. I'm not sure this whole biography thing you're planning is really... Do you have money coming in from somewhere?
Well, I would say it's a very personal question, but you seem to know the answer to a lot of very personal questions. Somehow. Orin the Bard is very popular and invested well. You must know.
So you shouldn't have any problem getting protection for yourself.
Not from the Falarune. But I suppose something could be arranged if I trusted any of them, which I don't.
Well, how about I arrange a meeting between you and one of the Augmented Eye?
I do not meet with gang members. Even ones like the Eye. I have people for that.
Do you, though?
In a manner of speaking. You clearly ruffled this man's plumage.
I'm getting that. Look, I'm on your side.
You're a trespasser. You're burglar. You destroyed my property.
Who told you that?
You did. You said you broke my door.
Yeah, but who am I? I'm just some dude who wandered in off the street. You gonna believe me?
No.
Look,
I should turn you in. That's what I should do.
well, to who? Like, who gives a shit? No one's protecting this place. I could go upstairs and break all the doors, and as far as I understand, no one would care.
I could make someone care.
Well, if that's the case, then I don't need to worry about your protection. I would like to fix the door I smashed in, though. I've got a repairman on standby who can come in here and fix that right up. And I got some boards. I show him the boards. Hammer, some nails. I can go fix that window I smashed. I think I cracked the one upstairs. Maybe I'll.
You did indeed crack the one upstairs.
Well, I'm sorry about that. But you need a bell out front so that people can.
I am not accustomed to visitors.
Well, all these windows are going to get smashed in if you don't set up some kind of bell pull system.
You ever hear the phrase, if you're not invited? Never mind. You're a very strange creature. You just want to fix my door? That's what you want?
Well, it's the right thing to do.
Fine. Then fix my door.
And you don't want a meeting with the Augmented Eye.
I told you, I don't... I have people.
I don't believe you, but I have done my due diligence in that area, so I'm going to let it go. If you change your mind, I'm staying at the Dragon's Damsel for the rest of the day. I'll go fetch my repair guy. He'll do your door, I'll do your window. Also, while I'm here, could I get a look at your gun?
I'm sorry?
Your gun. I forgot to look at it last time I was here. I'm a bit of a tinker. I would be willing to pay for the privilege.
I'm not entirely comfortable with what you're proposing.
I don't mean it as a euphemism. I mean your actual gun. I mean, I'm not saying like how. What are we talking about now?
Exactly. I think that's where he's at too. This is quite possibly the strangest thing that I have had to deal with, and that says a lot. You just want to see my gun?
I think it's a case of, two cultures meeting for the first time.
Roll a deception.
I seem very normal to other mules.
You better roll well. Oh no. Other mules, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Stands up. All right. You can see my gun. He reaches back behind him and he kind of pulls it out. On one condition.
Is it sexual?
No.
All right, let's hear it.
You tell me who you really are.
Plasm Limpy Schlazerum.
He just shakes his head. Now you can roll a deception and try and sell that if you want. But he's already convinced you on a mule.
Yay!
Yay! Alright. I don't believe for a second that you're a mule.
I'm wearing the ashes because my complexion is very fair, and I want to fit in with the other mules during Muladon. I tend more towards the human side of the spectrum, the human-looking, than I do the dwarvish, and the other mules resent it because I'm not quite as ostracized as they are.
I find that hard to believe.
Well, I share their culture, but not their complexion.
Oh, I find it hard to believe that you're not ostracized more.
Yes, but as I said, we're ostracized because, like I said, among
No,
mules...
I meant you. You in particular.
You mean... not sure how to take that. I think, I think if you knew more mules, you would see that I'm really not that strange. You should broaden your horizons a little bit, is what I'm saying. Because I'm trying real hard here, but it's hard not to be a little bit offended by that. Because you're basically denigrating an entire culture.
Oh no. No. Just you.
Well, I won't tell the other mules you said that.
Okay. He will let you look at his gun. He has to hold it. Like, you can't have it. Like, you look with your eyes.
You know, I could have just taken this while you were asleep, and I didn't.
I could have shot you. Right here
But
and
you
now.
didn't.
But I didn't. See?
Well, I mean, you could have tried.
Making friends.
So, is me looking at his gun enough to have an idea of how to make one?
How to make one? No, you'd actually have to, like, take it apart.
So how does this schema thing work? Is this just a waste of time then, looking at the gun?
No, it's not. It's not a waste of time. You would just need more time to study it. If you had taken it from his bedroom, or if you had spent time with it while he was asleep. But it gives you an inkling. It gives you an idea. What you really need to do is get a gun and take it apart. So you have your grapple gun, which kind of works on the same theory, and you've also had Firecaster schema. So
do I have a Firecaster schema thing?
you had access to one. It was in her book.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good enough then.
Yeah, your first attempt may not go so well, but eventually you'll have it. You just need to see more guns.
All right. So do you want me to fix this door or not?
Yes. You are the one that broke it. I think that's only fair.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Also, I left a message on your front door when I was last here. I don't know if you noticed it. But if you could just leave it there. I'm kind of a big deal among mules, and saying that I was here, it'll let everyone know that if they come at you, it's not as good as being protected by a gang, but at least you'll have the mules on your side. They'll be like, oh, Limpy was here. And they'll be like, maybe we shouldn't fuck with that guy, because we'll piss off the thriving and vibrant underground mule community of Warhold.
You are a ridiculous person. Just kind of nods. I will leave it up, but only because it amuses me.
Okay. Also, I'm not sure that this your benefactor is going to be returning. He's gone on a fairly dangerous quest, from what I understand. So, you might want to sort of broaden your horizons a little bit, and not sort of rely on past triumphs. Maybe try to figure out how to compose your own music and stuff like that. Just a thought.
For a moment, he looks offended, like seriously mock offended, theater offended. But he sort of catches himself. Like, your concern is appreciated, but I am quite capable
Alright, well maybe I caught you on a bad day last time.
Apparently. Didn't you say you were gonna fix my door?
Yeah, I gotta go get the guy though. I'll be right back. Oh, are you gonna leave the gate open or am I gonna have to turn
Yes,
the
I will
locks?
leave the gate open.
Okay, good. Thank you. Also, do you want me to arrange for some kind of bell pull situation?
No, just fix what you broke.
Okay. I'm just going around offering improvements on everything. Let me
Yes.
show you how to fix Larhole.
Yeah, let me show you how to fix everything. Because I'm a tourist, and I absolutely won't be shanked as I walk through the streets. Oh, watches you leave, takes off his cool-ass plumed hat, and throws it down on the couch. Plumps down in a chair, puts his feet up on the table.
Oh, I had an idea. I know what I can do. Okay, so first of all, I will swing. The dragon's damsel is on the way, sort of back towards the.
Yeah, you have to go through the market. Well, again, the only way you know how to go is to cross through the markets to get back to the sort of the industrial area. So yeah, you'll be in the vicinity of Dragon's Damsel.
Okay, I'll go past there and poke my head in to see if Rana's there yet.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, I'll go over.
You go to a table where Rana and Gayle are having their drinks. Gayle looks mildly annoyed.
What's the matter, Gayle?
His usual expression whenever he sees you. Rana was good enough to come right over.
Yeah, I see that. You're the best, Rana. So I hear that you like the underground theater scene.
Well, I enjoy theater. I enjoy the arts. It is physically underground, but it's not underground. You understand?
It's physically underground?
Yes.
Oh.
It's not subversive. Well, most of it isn't. Every now and again, you'll get some bit of, quote unquote, forbidden plays or performances or what have you. But most of that is just to sell tickets. But it is physically located underground.
Okay. Are they like lewd plays? These
sometimes, I suppose. Sex sells and all that. This is Lorehold.
What do you think of Oren the bard? He's pretty cool, huh?
I think he's very talented.
Have I got a proposition for you then?
Okay.
He's looking for someone to write his biography. He can't actually... I probably shouldn't tell you this. Don't tell him I told you this. But he can't actually read. And he's in a bit of trouble right now as far as being able to support himself goes. So I think this biography idea might be really the ticket to helping him. Like, he's really talented. You've seen him perform.
Yes.
There's no doubting his talent.
No.
It's just that he needs some help with the actual writing down of his ideas.
I thought he wrote all of his own material, songs. And
well,
such.
in his head, but he doesn't actually. He's had a bit of a rough childhood, is my understanding. I don't know him very well. And anyway, learning his letters was not high on the list of priorities. It was more sort of living life to the fullest and having adventures and all that shit. So what he needs is someone to, take the tempest in his brain and, coalesce it into a form that can be, disseminated among the masses, his adoring public and so on, so that he can, so that basically he doesn't starve or fucking rot in his mansion. Not that he would, because he's so awesome and such.
So Rana looks deeply confused, and Gayle just looks horrified at everything that you just spouted out.
Anyway, I'll introduce you to him. I wouldn't say we're friends, but we're getting the relationship is warming up.
All right.
And then
I mean, it would be an honor to meet him, I suppose.
we'll see if he like I'll bring it up subtly in conversation, and if your impression of him is such that you think that you want to spend more time with him and it'll be a good partnership type deal, then you can speak up and but I won't volunteer your services until you've met the guy.
All right.
Um,
You wanted to do that today then?
yeah, we're leaving
Okay.
tomorrow.
Oh. Oh, okay.
What else? I think that's everything.
You,
How much pull do you have with the augmented eye?
virtually none. Why?
Yeah, okay, never mind then.
Did you? She just looks very, very like she keeps starting sentences and then stopping herself and like reconsiders what she's about to say, and she has yet to actually finish the sentence. And she just kind of looks imploringly over at Gayle. Gayle just shakes his head. I don't know. Rana, would you excuse us for just a second? Kind of motions for you to follow him as he pushes off from the table.
All right.
Goes to a corner of the inn. Is that what you had me bring her for?
You didn't.
You could take her to that gun-wielding maniac?
No, I had a different idea, but this one occurred to me on the way back here.
Well, what was the other idea?
I was gonna, like I said before, I was gonna try to maybe arrange for his place to be protected by the augmented eye, and she's my only contact with that. But I mean, that first of all, for one thing, that seems like more trouble than it's worth, and for another thing, he says he doesn't need it. So, I think the more pressing matter is him finding his own stream of income, because I think the Vergar River is going to dry up pretty quick here.
Why are you so concerned about this guy?
I don't know. He just maybe we bonded. I don't know. I feel bad for him.
Didn't he try to shoot you?
Well, he pointed a gun at me. I mean, so it's just it's.
I think we just have different concepts of friendship.
He's all alone in that mansion. He's, hiding from the world, drinking himself to death, smoking blood moss from strangers. I know, but that just speaks to his poor judgment.
You can tell Gayle just wants to yell, and he's trying so hard to keep his voice down because you're in a public place, but you make it so hard. You make it so hard.
Anyway, while we're over here having this conference, did you want me to give you any sex advice with Rand?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Would you stop with that? If you say anything to her, I will... He looks like he's going to poke you in the chest, because he's, a little on the short side. I'll be very upset.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to screw this up for you.
She's a friend. But she's a smart friend, and doesn't need to be jerked around.
I'm not jerking her around. I think this will be good for both of them. I don't Oren wouldn't have this, or not Oren wouldn't have this reputation if he didn't have some talent. Maybe I'm right. Maybe he does just need someone to help him get the ideas out. It's worth a shot.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing. It's just just not be you for like half a day.
Well, I mean, you can take point on this.
I
know what the plan is.
You said this guy was dangerous. You said he was a drunk, and he pulled a weapon out on you.
Yeah, but he's fine today, so who knows? I mean, she can always bail if he turns out to be dangerous. I think she can take care of herself.
Well, I'm sure she can take care of herself. And she seemed confused, but excited about the idea.
Yeah, see?
Okay,
it's like you see two gears that are just meant to go together.
I don't think Rana's gears are meant to go with that guy's gears.
Well, not. I'm not trying to set them up. I'm not trying to, let this not Orin come between you and Rana.
Just stop talking. Okay, so we're doing this, and then we're
We got to
leaving?
go get the repair guy. Bring him over to the house. Introduce these two. Maybe take in a show. Go to bed. Leave in the morning.
I'm never talking to you about anything ever again. Have you not? I mean, you. I don't. I'm not talking to you.
I don't see what the problem is. This all makes perfect sense.
Silent just. God, I liked you better on drugs. Stomps away. Back to the table.
Genius is never understood in its own time.
Alright, Gale's done with his hissy fit.
Oh, while we're out running errands, I need to get this electrum changed.
Oh, okay.
So first we'll go to fetch. Well, when we head out, I'll ask Brana if she can direct me to a electrum changer on the way.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of places will do that for you. Electrum, probably Electrum. They change everything else. I don't know why they wouldn't take Electrum. Yeah, she can absolutely lead you to. They're called bookmakers or bookkeepers, but they're basically the same person. But there's no real bank of Loreholt like there is in Greylock and other places. These guys are the bank. They're independent, usually deal with gambling of some type, but they also hold money and items for people and work as sort of personal bankers. They're also the pawn shop and money changers as well.
So is, compared to like the bank in Greylock, I mean, I'd probably get better rates at the bank in Greylock. Correct?
Well, the Bank of Greylock would be, sort of crown backed and regulated. These guys are all in theory, they're all freelancers. Most of them are associated with one gang or another, but in theory, they all work for themselves. So they sort of set their own rates.
I'm in no real need. I don't have to change this electrum right away. Maybe I'll wait till I get back to Greylock.
It's up to you. These guys will do it for you.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, although competition, maybe they'll be trying to undercut each other. For electrum, though, I doubt it. Yeah, I'll wait till I get to
Electrum is
Greylock.
probably not like that.
Okay, I'll just talk myself out of this and forget that. We'll just go pick up the repair guy.
Okay, you're gonna take Rana with you for that?
Well,
she'll go.
We'll go fast.
Okay. I took the rest of the day, so.
What are your duties anyway, exactly?
Well, I'm a clerk. So I spend half my time working for the church, and I spend the other half in the service of several scholars that work with the eye.
So this Orin thing could be the very spark of excitement your life lacks.
She kind of laughs. That's a little bit melodramatic, but it sounds interesting. As I said, I respect the man as an artist. It would definitely be interesting to see sort of more his process.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Maybe we should swing by some actors and pick up some kind of drugs to aid in that process on the way.
He just kind of frowns a little bit.
You're not.
Does he need that kind of inspiration?
No, he can probably arrange that for himself.
It's not uncommon. I know apothecaries.
No, I don't. I don't feel confident. Apparently, there's a lot I don't know about drugs, given my current state. I probably shouldn't be pushing weird drugs on other people.
And now she looks concerned. And she kind of like does a quick look back at Gayle and then at you. And are you all right?
Well, I'm recovering from a bit of a brocane bender.
Oh. You probably shouldn't be out of bed then.
I slept for 2 days.
Now she's definitely looking back at Gayle. Back at you slept for 2 days?
Yeah.
And nobody looked after you? She says loudly and pointedly.
No.
Are you sure you know? I mean, Lorehold, we have some of the best medical technology in all of Iyith. Do you sure you don't want to be looked at?
For what? Or it's already done. I already ordered the brocane.
Well, are you feeling any of the after effects? Are you dizzy at all, or is your heart beating super fast? Anything like that?
Is it?
No. If anything, you feel slow. You feel super slow.
Well, I just feel really, really lethargic.
I still say you should be in bed.
Well, I'll sleep tonight.
And then you intend to travel?
Yeah.
Well, if you're not well, you shouldn't travel.
I've got stuff to do. Can't be hanging around being hungover.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be terrible if you two stayed a few extra days. Would it?
I sort of give Gayle a wink.
Gayle is just closing his eyes and sighing internally.
So you'd like to see a little bit more of young Gayle?
I just think it might be dangerous for you to travel if you're ill.
Take in a few more shows. We were thinking of taking in a show tonight. Do you want to come with us?
What did you want to see?
What's playing?
Oh, I don't know yet. I haven't looked.
Well, how about after we do all this introduction, we go underground to the theater and see what the various troops are doing, and maybe grab some dinner, bottle of wine. I can't drink any because I'm feeling pretty shitty. But you two can feel free. Candlelight, music.
You're gonna get stabbed in your sleep.
See where the evening takes us.
You can feel the heat radiating off of Gayle. You don't know if it's embarrassment or just sheer white-hot anger, but whatever it is, it's not good.
Maybe we can even coax Orin out. I doubt it. But it might not be a bad idea if he sort of showed himself to his adoring public.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he hasn't
Might pick
been
up his
out.
spirits a bit.
Yeah. He hasn't been out for a while. That is true. Like, usually his performances are pretty widely advertised and definitely widely attended. So it is strange he's been so quiet.
Yep. He needs to be he needs his shell cracked. He needs to get his groove back.
I find that a very odd description of the bard I know, but you seem to know him much more intimately than anyone I've ever spoken with. So
he's very mercurial. He has many sides. He's a complicated chap. Very volatile, artistic, sort of temperament.
Yeah, most creative types are. I've noticed.
I think you two will get along.
That would be interesting.
I'll see if he'll come to dinner with us. Take in a show.
I love you're fascinated by this idea of Lorehold Theater.
All right.
I know you're just doing it to razz Gayle, but it still cracks me up. So yes, clearly this has been enough time for you to traverse the Ironhelm Market and get back to your little hole-in-the-wall carpentry stall. Two of the gnomes scurry as you and your compatriots approach, but the one you spoke to earlier is still standing outside and greets you semi-warily.
So it's all set up. I can arrange payment right now if that'll make you most comfortable, and we'll show you the place, show you the door that needs repairing.
Well, it might take us more than just one day, you know.
Well, like I said, it doesn't have to be an awesome door.
Well, still, it's not like we keep, doors just...
No, that's fair enough, but you can take the measurements at least.
Yes, yeah, good, definitely.
I'll pay in advance then. Once you've taken the measurements and figured out how much you think it's going to cost.
Yeah.
Because I'm leaving tomorrow.
Oh, okay. You're looking to go now, then?
Yep.
Okay. He kind of calls back into the darkness of the shop where the others have hidden. Speaks in Gnomish. Sort of dusts himself off to no avail. He still is covered in sawdust as he was before he attempted, but he tries. And gives a little, half nod, half bow towards Rana. And sort of a curious look at Gayle. And, he gets a nod too. And all. But yeah, the gnome doesn't seem to know where to stand in this pack. He doesn't know where we're going, so he doesn't want to stand in front. He clearly doesn't want to stand next to you. He doesn't look entirely comfortable with Gayle. So in the end, he sort of gravitates next to Rana.
All right. So we head off to the...
All right. You make your way back through, all the way over to Stone Alley. Rana, go ahead.
I'll ask him his name as we go.
I don't have a gnome name ready. His name is Wannick.
Wannick, okay.
So Rana attempts to make conversation, as does Gayle. They both speak Gnomish. So they try and make this little gnome feel as comfortable as possible walking with this little crew.
That perception roll was me trying to catch any mentions of my name, either Limpy or Xylund, in their conversation.
Oh yeah.
Better not be Xylund.
No, it's Limpy.
Okay.
Gayle never says it. Rana says it a few times. And every time she does, Gayle just gets real quiet. For, 30, 40 seconds, and then rejoins the conversation. As they all sort of chatter behind you. And slowly the gnome starts to relax a little bit and gets a little chattier, and Rana just seems to be much like most clerics, especially ones that deal with the public. She has a very sort of engaging and pretty mild personality, and tends to put people at ease, and this guy calms down little by little as you make your way over to Stone Alley and back to the Bochan mansion.
So is the gate still open?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we troop up.
The message is still scrawled upon the door. The door is slightly ajar. Gayle looks at it and sighs. Rana looks at it, says something to Gayle in Gnomish. You don't know what he says in response, but judging by the length of the sigh that accompanies the statement, it's probably not flattering. And the little gnome comes in as well. Oren is no longer in the living room. His hat has been left behind, and his boots are now off and standing in a pair next to the sort of the coffee table in the far corner of the room where you guys had your little interview. But you don't actually see him anywhere, just his hat and his boots.
Oh shit, he's already started to let his standards slip. I've motioned for everyone to wait. And I'll be right back. I'm clang up the stairs to his bedroom.
Door is cracked. It's not shut entirely.
I push it open slowly. Oren, buddy?
There's Oren. He's standing in front of his wardrobe, looking at everything inside. Glances over his shoulder. Don't you have any manners at all?
I said, Oren, buddy.
Could knock.
I thought we were past knocking. I thought we were on more intimate terms than that.
I don't even remember who you are.
You pretty much invited me to a sex party last time I was here.
I highly doubt that happened.
Anyway.
Think hard about that.
I might have solved your biographer problem. I'm acquainted with an admirer of yours, an admirer of the arts, also a lettered cleric. He might be interested in chronicling your adventures and, getting all those teaming ideas onto paper for you, as long as you, present yourself well. First impressions are pretty important, as I'm sure you know.
He kind of looks you up and down with, your ash face that he is aware is not your natural coloring.
I explained my condition to you. I'm a very pale mule.
You brought them here.
Oh, well, and the repair gnome. We discussed this like fucking an hour ago.
You said repairs. You didn't say anything about bringing in...
You were so excited to see me when you thought I was answering your ad. Now I found someone who might be answering your ad, and now you're pissed? Make up your mind.
I was excited until I found out that you weren't here for my ad, and now I'm questioning the idea entirely.
You like her much better than you like me. Trust me.
I think I would like just about anybody much more than I like you at the moment.
You will change your mind when you realize what a great favor I've done for you by introducing you to her. Also, we're going to be going out for dinner tonight and possibly taking in a show, and you're invited. It'll maybe get you to a chance to get to know each other better, see if this arrangement will work out. And
You could just walk around in public?
Well, I think that you've lost a bit of confidence. I think it'll do you good to, remember how admired and revered you are in this city. And, you'll have friends around you, people who have your back and such. You'll have your possible future biography there to, it'll just make you look cool if you're out in public with her. You know what I mean?
I suppose. Roll persuasion check. Roll persuasion.
I am.
Alright.
Yay!
That's pretty good.
As fuck.
I don't know if persuasive is fuck. Pretty persuasive. He considers it. Well, my best hat is downstairs.
Yeah, no, you're already letting your standards slip. I thought that. You need to, oh, sorry. I'll go get your hat.
And boots.
I saw your boots there too, yes.
Alright. He goes over to his little silver mirror and gets out his comb. And looks at his comb for a second. And he looks at his mirror and he looks at you. Wipes his comb, wipes his mirror off. Wipes his razor off.
I head out down the hallway. As I get halfway down the hallway, I stop and I'm like, why the fuck am I even doing this? Getting a guy's boots and hat?
Welcome to Gayle's world!
I'll stomp down the stairs, grab his boots and hat, and I'll go back upstairs and throw them into the room. There's your boots and hat. Don't ask me to grab your boots and hat again. Come downstairs when you're presentable.
I'm waiting for the stroppy teenager sighs that are going to come from this. You are the new Gayle. So the gnome's looking a little nervous Radis is looking at the paintings.
He'll be down in a moment. I'll show you where the door is, Mr. Wannick.
Alright. Take him up to the door. She inspects. This is a nice door.
It doesn't have to be nice anymore. The replacement can be shit.
Oh.
As long as it, keeps people out. Also, it should probably have a lock, since the reason I bashed it in was it was locked.
We could probably just repair this one.
Oh, okay.
It's... You're not gonna find anything like this, currently, This wood's pretty old. Anything that we build's gonna be, super thin. Lightweight, but we could probably repair this.
For how much?
Well, he points out some places where the wood's separated. I'll have to put some shims in here. New lock will run you a little bit, with the iron and all. The siren's a little strange, though.
The what?
The iron of the lock is a little strange.
How so?
Oh, it's not normal iron. You can kind of see, and he shows you where you busted the lock, and it's sort of cracked. The deadbolt portion, and I mean, when he points it out to you, you can see inside it's got pretty odd gray and green streaks on the inside. The green's real subtle, but it's definitely there.
What is this?
I think it's cold iron.
That would keep out like spirits and such.
Yeah.
Fae.
Fae.
Glamored, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Supposedly. Yeah. And natural creatures like that. Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
wonder how
weird.
much of it's in this house. So yeah, I can't make you more of that, but I can repair it.
Okay.
It'll be a little pricey with that lock and all. Maybe 2 gold for the whole project. Take a few days.
That's fine. I don't suppose you take Electrum.
What's Electrum?
I show him an Electrum piece.
Looks like silver to me.
It's not. It's worth 10 silver each. I'll just pay you in gold, how about?
You say you could roll persuasion.
Okay, I'll roll persuasion.
Okay.
Nope. Gold it is.
Alright.
Well, that's pretty interesting about the cold iron.
It is, isn't it? You don't see it often. But I guess, house as old as this.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, I'll leave that in your capable hands. We're gonna possibly be heading out for dinner and taking in a show later if you want to come.
He looks very startled by that, like frightened, and
I'm not hitting on you.
Appreciate the offer, but I think I should get this started. So you're not the master of the house then?
No, Orin is the famous bard Orin. Have you ever...
Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Everyone knows him. Yeah. So make arrangements with him then, or?
For repairing? Oh, right. I'll go see what he's up to and just introduce you to, so that he's not weirded out next time you show up.
Okay.
Is he still in his bedroom?
He comes out as you come out. I come away from the door. He steps out of his room. He's got his hat. He's got his boots. He's back looking resplendent and powerful and bardy. He walks with a swagger.
Orin the Resplendent, meet Master Wannick the
Carpenter.
Carpenter. He's going to be fixing your door.
Excellent. Excellent.
It's all paid for.
Also excellent.
So I will introduce you to Rana, and also my friend / life partner, Gayle.
Gale's gonna murder you.
And you guys can just chat while I go board up your window.
Oh, all right. Orin the Resplendent comes downstairs. The gnome is sort of scampering behind, like he doesn't want to get in front of anybody, but he desperately wants to leave this house as soon as possible. Sort of scurries himself out the door, with Rana calling a goodbye as he as he scuttles past. But she turns and looks at the two of you as you come down the stairway. And just nothing but smiles, and there's Gayle, a very cranky look on his face, staring down Orin.
Gayle staring down Orin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, whatever, Gayle. Orin, this is Rana she was with the Forge Father, wasn't she? That was her.
Yeah, she's Firefather.
Firefather?
Yeah. So
Forge Father is nothing? That's something I just made up? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Rana of the Firefather. A skilled and very pleasant cleric.
I think I'm telling you right, but let me double check. Make sure I'm giving you the right info. I always forget. Yeah, it's Firefather. Yeah.
Okay. And this is Gayle, who is spoken for. So don't get any ideas. And this is Orin. So you guys just talk amongst yourselves. Maybe talk about interesting biographies you've read lately and see if that leads to any fruitful topics of conversation.
Real smooth. Real smooth.
I'll just be hammering nails into the wall over here.
Alright. So you go back into the kitchen to fix the damage that you've done. Gayle excuses himself, comes stalking behind you as Orin extends an arm, crooks an arm out, and takes Rana over to the little sitting area where they can talk. Gayle comes up furiously, slamming the kitchen door behind him.
What now? God damn it, man.
What do you mean spoken for? What is wrong with
I was
you?
just kidding. Don't worry, Rana didn't take me seriously, I'm sure.
I don't know what is wrong with you.
While you're here, do you want to hold the boards up?
Fine. He
Thanks.
does. Stomps over and he holds the boards up while you hammer it in. Roll your Tinker's Tools.
Yay.
See what a good job you do.
Gonna be the best job.
Best!
Would this be intelligence or?
No, you're not really figuring it out. It's just how skillfully you do it, so just add your dex to it.
Dex. Wait.
It's not bad.
I hit the wrong thing.
Oh.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's the same bonus either way, I think.
Is it? Okay.
I think so. I'll just roll Tinkers to make sure.
Hey!
Yeah, it's the same bonus either way.
Same thing. So, yeah, you managed to do a decent job. Takes you a little bit. It's definitely getting on towards evening time. By the time you finish up with all the running back and forth and harassing of Gayle and harassing of Orin and weird pseudo matchmaking and frightening of gnomes and everything else Xylund has accomplished today. So you're finally finished. Gayle's like, can we go now?
I'll go check in on those two. How are they getting along?
Oh, they're getting along great. They're sitting in the little sitting room area of the main room. They're talking about the art on the walls. Brana's a big fan, apparently, and Orin is just maximum charming. Maximum charming.
Good.
Got his hat on. Feeling it.
So, yeah, Gayle and I are leaving town tomorrow, and so I'd like to make our last night in town memorable. So, who's up for a show? And dinner.
Well, Rat is all about it. I think that would be great. And Orin reluctantly agrees. Assuming you're picking up the tab, of course.
Yeah, I'm picking up the tab.
Rana says, "What do you want to go see then?"
Well, let's go underground and see what our options are. I wouldn't mind taking in one of these quote unquote exotic plays you mentioned.
Oh my. Okay. You do you want like one of the specialty shows or?
Oh no, nothing. I mean,
because I can just take you to the pits if that's what you want.
What are the pits?
The fighting pits.
No, I don't want. No, theater, like actual theater.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Offering. Some of the in between bout shows can be interesting.
No, I'm good.
Okay. But yeah, she's all about it. And Orin reluctantly agrees.
So show first, dinner second, or other way
Yes. No, show first, dinner second.
Okay.
This is according to Orin, because there is a proper way to do these things, you know. He's going to escort Rana, his newfound friend. Gayle hates you so much right now. Look on his face. He stalks out of the house.
I'm sorry, I didn't think they'd get along this well.
Just shut up. Shut up.
We're leaving tomorrow anyway. It wouldn't have worked out between you two.
Just shut up.
Ships passing in the night, Gayle.
Shut up.
These things happen.
Shut up.
She's probably too old for you.
Would you shut up? So Orin and Rana are leading the way. Orin locks up as you guys leave. And Rana brings you out of Noble Garden into the markets. Into it's very similar to the steps that Ysel used to get into the sewers when she took you down to see the marked.
Yeah.
But they're much wider. They're more like subway steps, like down to the metro. They're very wide, very well carved and marked, but they're sort of tucked away behind the markets. But still fairly. I mean, they're fairly well lit, fairly well traveled. They're not like the side passages that Ysel used. Serana takes you down there, and there is almost like a night market feel down here. The sun has begun to set. So the only light that's really coming down is you get a little bit from the entrance itself, but almost everything else is gaslight, it's firelight. There's sconces everywhere. The dwarven architecture, while there's plenty of dwarven architecture above ground, down here it's just pervasive. Like everything is carved, everything there's no flat stone surfaces. Everything is either worn with age and sort of chipped away through natural elements, the crack, things like that, or has been muralized and has been stone crafted, has been smoothed by a person. And that's floor, that's ceiling, that's pillars. It's everywhere you look. It's definitely a shift from the relatively civilized above ground.
Do I see any signs of those stories?
Oh, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Little myths and stories, and a lot of it going back to, again, the founding of Lorehold and the original herd and the story of Galdus, and the purge of Lorehold and the consecration of the four sacred artifacts and the pact that formed the null zone around Lorehold. I mean, it's everywhere.
It's the consecration of the four sacred.
That's the story of how Lorehold was founded. When the truce was finalized, each of the four non-human races that were involved, they each came up with a sacred artifact, something that was particular to them, something that was crafted by their most powerful magic user. And it was all sanctified, and it was stored in Lorehold. And those sacred objects formed the basis of not just the political truce, but also the sort of the null ground, the neutral territory that Lorehold was supposed to be. And the stories say that's why Lorehold is a null zone for magic. It's those four items that keep it that way.
How long ago did this take place?
This is hundreds of years ago. This is centuries ago that this happened. No one's even, I mean, if you were to ask Rana, she'd probably take it somewhat seriously as a historian, but also as a historian, she acknowledges that it's probably just a myth. Like, it's not like they're encased in a museum where you can go and look at them. They're not on public display. She's fairly confident that it would just be a children's story.
But what if the Dragon Orb was one of these artifacts? Would that line up timeline-wise? Whereabouts did Amramaran?
No, Amramaran, she died 200 years ago was when she passed.
How old was she?
You don't know how old she was. But she created the Dragon Orb towards the end of her life. It was after her husband died that she created the Dragon Orb.
Alright.
So that would be a little too recent.
Okay. So,
down here amongst the pillars and the stories and the dwarven pictographs and runes and some gnomish stories too, couple here and there, down lower on the ground.
I get Gayle to translate those.
Does.
I'm trying to give him an opportunity to show off his knowledge so that he doesn't feel so outclassed by Orin.
He's so mad.
I speak admiringly of his intelligence and such, and like, he's so smart, he knows so many languages, stuff like that. Whenever I'm in a jam and I need someone to do the thinking, I always ask Gayle. Gayle, what do you think? Good man in a pinch, that Gayle.
Just staring at you. You go deeper into these halls, and there is an actual market down here. There are stalls down here. There are people selling wares. It's not as crowded as the Ironhelm markets upstairs. It's more of a flea market kind of vibe to it. These are obviously unregulated folks. Most of it's selling, handicrafts and things like that. These aren't the polished shop windows up above. But there's a good-sized crowd. Lots of people having food on a stick kind of things. It looks suspiciously like rat. Smells a lot like rat.
Anyone want rat on a stick?
Rana considers it. Gayle looks horrified. I thought we were going out to dinner, though.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin your appetite. Joe first. Rat on the stick after.
Joe first. Come this way. And so she kind of leads the party. And she's chatting away with Warren, who is happy to chat right back. And of course, as you guys pass through throngs of people and go past the stall markets, people do recognize him. He's got the biggest, plumiest hat in creation. How could you not? So he does occasionally have to stop and sign autographs, and every time you guys stop for any kind of recognition for Orin, Gayle just gets more and more angry. His little fist balled up as you guys continue to go through this market on your way to wherever it is Ren is leading you.
I'm basically turning into Gale's nemesis. Like, I'm not.
You are!
I didn't mean for this to happen.
So finally, you make your way to the far side of this little underground area, and Rana points to an area that's been carved out. You can see there's big pillars on either side, sort of a colonnade style, highly decorative, carved statues of dwarves in fighting poses. It looks like almost a mini temple, like about 10th scale.
Oh yeah.
That's been carved into the rock, so it's got very much a paragon theme. It's got dwarves fighting each other. It's got some of them are very recognizable from the original herd. One is very clearly Firefather, but yeah, it's essentially a dwarven temple that's been shrunk down to about 1/10 scale. And she says, "This is the best theater. This is the best theater in all of Lorehold. It's real small, but they always have something good on."
What's it called?
It's just called the theater.
Okay, let's go there.
I don't think it actually has a name. It does. I don't know it. So she goes in, and there's not really. It's not like a traditional theater that we would recognize. Inside, again, very much looks like a church. It's got long stone pews that sort of stretch across the entire width of the room, maybe 30 between the back wall and just at the front of the stage. The stage itself only goes up about 5 feet from the ground, and it's got all these little baby braziers that are all filled with fire, but they're copper lined, even though they're stone on the outside, so it casts its light up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's it doesn't have a curtain. There's no fabric or anything. It's just the bare stage. But you can see where someone has sort of carved out niches to the stage left and stage right where people can hide behind. But it is heavily carved on the inside as well. There's some glass or gemstone. It's difficult to tell in the dim, but something reflective that's been embedded into all of the walls to form these little murals. And the sconces have been placed just strategically through the walls that now that they're lit, it just throws color across the ceiling. The stone itself is kind of a sandy gray color, so it takes all the color really well, stands out really well. It's a pretty intimate little place. There's no ticket taker or anything like that. You don't actually see any other people at the moment. But it's one of those, we call it a black box theater back in college.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just a very small, very intimate little venue where you would see experimental stuff.
Yeah, I've been to those.
Yeah. So Ren is super excited. This place is the best. You guys are having a great time. They don't usually start, quite this early, but we can get a good spot.
Let's do that then.
Okay. So she goes right in the middle. Like you can tell she has a favorite spot in this theater. She just beelines for it, dragging Orin with her. She says, "Plus, you can get a respite from having to sign autographs and being famous and stuff." Orin, laughs and pats her hand in very dramatic fashion. Gayle is so mad. So mad. His whole face is just red. He hasn't unclenched his fist yet. Just looks at you. Sits down.
I will give him a winning smile.
Let's see that winning smile. No.
Oh shit.
That is not a winning smile, sir.
Well, I'm just going to take a quick nap while we wait for the play to start. Wake me up when it starts.
You're gonna take a quick nap?
Well, I imagine that by this point I'm pretty tired if I have -3 constitution.
Well, you haven't been doing anything. I mean, you can definitely take a short rest, but you haven't done anything particularly strenuous yet. Other than annoy Gayle to no
Well,
end.
I'm going to pretend to take a nap so that I don't have to face Gayle's.
That's
dagger
probably
eyes.
a wise idea. That's probably a wise idea. So the entire time as you fake your nap, although Gayle says nothing on your far side, on your
Yeah.
other side...
That's me faking a nap.
Oh, is that you faking a nap? That's an excellent nap. You hear Rana and Oren talking as the theater begins to fill with people slowly. And they are talking about, chronicler position, and Oren is telling dramatic tales about how, why yes, he does often feel trapped by his own fame, and sometimes he just has a hard time relating to just common everyday people, and it would be wonderful to have an outsider perspective to help him translate everything into something that really resonates with the masses. Like, he is just laying it on thick as can be. Rana is all about it and is agreeing with him wholeheartedly. And slowly the theater fills up, and then by the time you dare to open your eyes, after several sessions of autograph signing and greeting, and you can just feel the heat off of Gayle. The theater is now filled up. Workers, there appear to be dwarves dressed in black, so they can move fairly stealthily through the shadows, are dousing the sconces along the walls, killing all the color, but just making the copper shine on the stage that much more prominent. And the audience kind of quiets down, and the show begins. And Rana leans over and says, "This should be a good one."
What's it called?
It's called The Song of Silence.
Oh, that's evocative.
Yeah, it's about a dragon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wait, what kind of dragon?
I don't know. Watch the show.
Okay, I'm watching the show. Actually, I'm going to get some water in real life first. And then I'll watch the show.
No! So, the play begins. The orchestra, which is 3 dudes, basically one carrying a massive kettle-style drum, one that has something that looks like a stringed instrument like a violin or viola, and one that has some kind of horn, some brass horn, kind of file in from the left-hand side and take their places. And all dressed in black, of course, so once they get past the stage lights, they sort of blend in against the wall. And soon the play starts. It is, as Rana described, a play about a dragon. The dragon is depicted in swirls of red and black. It's very clearly 3 dwarves in a Chinese New Year style dragon costume.
But, sorry. The dragon that was described to me in the dragon orb, I didn't actually see it, did I? Or did I see it?
The dragon in the dragon orb was described to you. You didn't physically see it, but they all told you what it looked like.
Was it red and black?
It was red and black.
Okay, go on.
All right. So these 3 dwarves in a Chinese New Year style dragon costume of red and black swirls, with looks like beads of glass and shards of shiny stones sewn into it. It's in Dwarven. All the speaking parts are in Dwarven, and you notice that the vast majority of the people in the theater are indeed dwarves. Oren looks mildly lost, but
Am I
so
sitting next to him?
Yeah, you're sitting next to Oren. Yeah, Gayle would not sit next to Oren.
I'll translate, just enough to give him the gist of what's going on.
I get it. I understand.
All right.
He still looks totally lost. But the play does a good job of giving its story even in visuals. And the story seems to be about a pair of dragons. One that is red and black, and one that is just red. And they're both depicted very much in the same way, in that Chinese New Year style. The narrator, who sort of stands off to one side with the copper-tinged firelight sort of bathing his light in a glow, so he looks almost celestial from his side of the stage as he sort of narrates the goings-on. But he tells the story of this pair of dragons who terrorized the land. And they did. As little cutouts of trees fall flat as the dwarves in their dragon costumes stomp over them, and they breathe fire, which is actually just looks like rolled up paper. It gets thrown out by the lead dwarf.
I'm imagining Trogdor right now.
Yes.
Trogdor!
Very much so. So it shows the dragons, wanton destruction of the lands, and how the brave dwarves of Loreholt sought to fight them and were bravely trounced. And then shows soldiers running in with spears and they get their asses kicked, and talks about how the Argent Order, and of course the Argent Order is portrayed as the only humans that show up in this entire play, and they are very sloppily dressed, and they're holding their weapons the wrong way around, their pole arms, and they get even more soundly trounced by these dragons. And the narrator continues that the dragons stomp through the lands until one day somebody devised the only weapon that could possibly bring one down. And another dwarf walks onto the stage.
I'm nudging Gayle like crazy at this point. I'm like, look!
He's so not talking to you. His arms are crossed. He's staring straight ahead. He's not acknowledging your existence at all. It has nothing to do with it. So another dwarf walks into the center of the stage, and she's a little smaller, a little slighter than the others, and where the narrator wears all black, she actually wears a combination of gold and white and blue, which is not typical colors for Loreholt. But clearly she's meant to represent something within the mythology. She has very specific color scheme, very specific costuming. And her hair is done in more of an elvish fashion than a dwarven fashion. She has long hair, long dark hair, but it's not done in the traditional braids that you would expect. She doesn't have a beard at all, so it's it's not braided at all. But she seems to be wearing very elvish style jewelry, and again, her hair worn long and loose, not at all dwarven style. But she makes her way to the center of the stage, and without saying a word, pulls out a knife from the insides of her robe, and what looks to be a stereotypical crystal ball. It's about the size of a baseball, but it's completely clear, sort of catches the light as she stands over it, so it's got a weird golden cast to it as soon as she holds it over the light, which she does for only a second. And then the play continues, and it shows her approaching the two dragons as they're frolicking in the background, stomping over trees and just fucking shit up in general. The red one, she takes her knife and she slashes it across where its throat would be, like just under its head. And it collapses down. All the dwarves in the dragon costume just go down on their knees. And she approaches the one with the red and black swirls. And she makes more of a stabbing motion with her knife on that one. And the whole crowd is just like dead quiet now. They're totally into this performance. Brings down her knife in just under the chin, just where the sternum would be, basically, on the dragon. And it not only goes down, the dwarves drop down to their knees, but they roll to the side so that the back of the dragon is now facing the audience. And the dwarf woman goes behind, faces the audience from sort of the foot side of the dragon, reaches inside the costume with her glass ball. And when she pulls her hand back out, she doesn't have the glass ball in her hand anymore. Now she has this big red cloth-looking heart. And she tucks it inside of her robe. And makes a very complicated set of gestures. And when she's done, the dwarves that were living in the red and black costume, they're close enough to the side where they've all sort of like skittered their way back off stage. So all that's left is this flattened costume on the stage. It's completely deflated now. And then the dwarven woman leaves as well. And the narrator retakes his space, sort of center stage, and concludes by saying that the remaining dragon, the mighty Sugo, now christened Sugo the Voiceless.
Sugo the Voiceless.
Sugo the Voiceless.
Which one is
the one that lived?
That was slashed, or the one that...
Yeah,
okay.
The one, the plain red one.
Gotcha.
Is Sugo the Voiceless.
Well, now I got something more to ask. We thought.
Sugo the Voiceless, whose life was spared, but not her voice, unable to mourn the death of her mate. And I'll type that in here too.
Has the woman with the orb been referred to by name yet?
No, the entire time she was on stage, it was dead silent. The narrator stopped speaking, the orchestra stopped playing. Everything she did was done in complete silence. It was all pantomime.
Mighty, holy shit, that's a cool.
Yeah. That was the red and black dragon, the one that was slain. So yeah, the narrator finishes reciting the last bit about Sugo the Voiceless, unable to cry out to her mate in his last moments, constantly seeking revenge, and ends with, the dragon, the Sugo dragon, the red dragon, standing up, going over to the emptied costume of Avacris the Mighty, laying down upon it. The dwarves inside get down on their knees once again. And the one in the front lifts the head of his dragon so it looks like it's sort of baying into the night, but no sound comes out as the orchestra's music dies away. And the narrator at the center says, "The Song of Silence." And then that's it. He throws sand into the center brazier, which kills that light. You can hear the little pitter-patter of stagehands as they come out in their black clothing down the aisle and out from either side, and they throw sand onto the other braziers so that all the light is out. And then the ones that scamper down the aisles, they quickly light the sconces on the walls, throwing that color across the room again as the costumes have now been cleared and the narrator has left the stage, and the audience is just super fucking jazzed, and clapping.
I give them a standing ovation.
Yeah, everyone's really, really happy. And Rana's super excited. Like, she's kind of bouncing up and down a little bit. She's like, I told you they do the best stuff here. That was really good. I haven't seen that one before.
That was the best. That was. Who's the person supposed to be? Do you know the lady who came out and slit the one dragon's throat and took the other dragon's heart?
I don't know. I don't know. They don't say.
Is this based on a local legend or something, though?
I would think. We should ask the playwright.
That's true. We should. Who's the playwright?
I don't know. I bet we could find out though.
Let's do that.
We have Oren here. I'm sure if he wanted to meet the playwright, he could.
Oren, introduce us to the playwright, please.
And Oren says, "Of course, absolutely. I'd be more than happy to. You lead the way, Rana." And as she sort of scampers down the aisle through the throng of people, he looks at you and goes, I don't speak Dwarven. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to translate for you.
I meant playwright.
Is that going to be a problem? Like, is Oren supposed to speak?
I don't know. Is it going to be a problem? This is your plan.
I'll speak for you. You just gotta, show up and look theatrical.
He kind of straightens his vest a little bit and probably handle that. And he heads out after Rana. Rana's just made a beeline for backstage. Like, she gives zero fucks. She jumps up on the stage, going like a fish swimming upstream, trying to get through the people that are leaving the theater. Kind of pops backstage, and she seems to be calling out in Dwarven, looking for the stage manager or something. And eventually somebody does kind of pop out, and he's wearing the black of a stagehand. He's got sand still on him from when he threw it into the brazier, and it kind of poofs back out at him. But he tells, she explains, I have Oren the Bard. And of course, Oren doesn't understand what she's saying, but you do. I have Oren the Bard. He really wants to meet the playwright. That was amazing. You guys are great. She's super jazzed. So he just wants, if the playwright's here, could he possibly, have a minute? And the stage managers are, I'll go look. You just stay right here. Just be careful, fire and sand and stuff. And so by the time you guys sort of catch up with her, while you've heard the conversation because of the acoustics of the room, she finally sees you coming up on stage and tells you, like, he's gonna go get the playwright. This is gonna be amazing. That was so neat.
Yeah, it was really good.
And eventually another dwarf comes out. This one is not wearing black though. He's actually dressed fairly well. Very upper middle class. He's a very traditional plaited beard, bald, but he's got full beard and big chops going on, and fairly affable, and sort of greets you all, collectively in Dwarven, and then recognizes Oren and flips his shit and goes to shake his hand, speaking in Dwarven the entire time, so Oren is playing along as best he can. Mm-hmm. Obviously reading the room appropriately. Yeah. and interacting as he feels he should. But Rana starts to rattle off about how amazing the play was, and how much she always enjoys this theater, and she brought guests, and she referenced, waves a hand back at you too, you and Gayle. She brought guests, and what a lovely night to do so. And you guys really outdone yourselves tonight, and I would love to know the playwright. I would love to meet the playwright. And the dwarf shakes his head and says he's just the director. That the playwright didn't attend tonight. This playwright generally doesn't attend his own shows. He's one of those types,
What's his name? So we can send him a little token of our appreciation or something.
Varian is his name.
Varian? Whereabouts does he live?
Well, I can't say. His scripts are delivered, and we pay his bookkeeper, and he writes amazing stuff. Some of our most popular plays are done by Varian.
How could we get in touch with him?
I can give you the name of his bookkeeper, I suppose.
All right.
I'll have to go look it up. If you want to stay here for a moment.
Yep.
So he bustles out of the room. Orin kind of grabs you by the arm and hauls you off to one side, muttering an excuse us for a second to Rana and Gayle. And he sort of pushes you to the far wall. And that man say Varian?
Is that Farragar?
Yeah.
I was afraid of that. Well, let's meet this bookkeeper anyway.
Well, I could take you to the bookkeeper, man.
All right. Well, we gotta play this out anyway. How many aliases does he have anyway?
I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah,
we
I know
could get a
that
look at the
one.
script.
It's probably in his office. Well, no. I think he took all this stuff out of his office. I don't know.
Bookkeeper has a copy?
Probably.
All right.
Probably. That's smart. Yeah, you're right. That's smart. This is weird.
It's a little bit weird, yeah. But fun, though. It was good.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was amazing, but that's par for the course. He's a really good writer.
Yeah, I see that.
I don't know. It just seems, I don't know. I don't like it.
Don't get discouraged. I mean, you'll reach his lofty heights someday, I'm sure, with Rana's help.
She's really nice, though.
Yeah, I told you. See, you like me a little bit better now, don't you?
I don't know. Let's not get too hasty. We have dinner yet. I think you owe me a nice dinner. Quite frankly. What's wrong with your little friend?
Oh, indigestion.
He does look like he swallowed something bitter.
He's a little bit backed up. I heard he crammed a bracelet up his butt.
Orin looks at you incredulously. He did what?
Yeah, he's into some kinky shit. Don't tell Rana, though.
I would never say anything quite so crass to a lady. Thank you.
That's good.
You're a terrible person. So Orin goes back as the director comes back into the stage area. He's like, "Yeah, I have the bookkeeper right here. I don't think he's open this late." But he hands a slip of paper to Rana. But this is where we send our payment, so hopefully it'll be of use to you. I'm glad you enjoyed the play.
Yeah, it was great.
Something we do very often. It's very popular. So
why'd you choose to do it tonight?
I don't know. Just felt like a good night. I mean, we don't really have a set schedule. It's just what we feel like doing. We don't charge admission or anything. It's all donation. So
it had the feel of some kind of folklore about it. You wouldn't be familiar with the original tale on which it's possibly based.
This is the only rendition I've seen of it until we got the script. I never heard of it personally, but yeah, it definitely has that ages of old thing going on with it. I agree. And we haven't seen a dragon, and couldn't even tell you, not in my lifetime, that's for sure.
You do have those dragon guns.
Oh, the dragon killers? Yeah.
So presumably they were around.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. You can see it in in the murals and stuff, even stuff on our walls. Dragons were a problem, particularly red dragons. Nasty bits of work them. But you don't see them quite so much these days. Probably because of the dragon killers.
Probably.
Hmm. But
All right.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourselves. Have a good night. See
I will
the donation
definitely
box on your way out.
be recommending this place to all of my acquaintances.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. He kind of walks away chuckling.
I was about to say friends, but then I thought, does Xylund have any friends?
Kinda.
Kind
A
of.
little bit.
Um,
Kinda. Ran is super excited. She's like, okay, well, it's kind of late. Hey, he's right. I don't think the bookkeeper will be open.
No, we'll probably stay a little bit in the morning to try to track a copy of this script down.
Okay.
Just for the sake of our own edification. Did you want to take a look at it too? You seem pretty interested.
Oh, I'd love to.
All right, well, swing by the inn early in the morning because I'd still like to get going tomorrow. But
Okay.
yeah.
I'll sneak away for a little bit then.
Okay, but for now, fine United Theater like that deserves a fine meal. So you recommended this place, so I'll trust you to lead the way to the next place.
You just don't want to grab some rat outside? She kind of pokes you a little bit.
I am not a big fan of rat.
I'm kidding.
But...
I would make you eat rat. Come on.
All right, let's go.
So she leads you back out of the market. She's obviously just in her element. She's just chattering away. Like, even Oren can't outdo her at this point. He keeps trying to interject and be witty and be cool, and she's just talking on top of him. Gayle still has not said a word this entire time. He's effectively mute. At this point, he is clenched so tight, no sound is escaping him.
While we're going, are there any like drug dealer looking types in this undermarket?
There are definitely some independent apothecaries that have set up small stalls here. This is, while not necessarily a black market area, is definitely a more loose transaction sort of area. There are definitely freelance herbalists that have small stalls here.
You guys could excuse me for one moment. I'll be right back.
Okay. So she leads the crew up the stairs.
So I'll go over to an independent herbalist.
Alright, a half-elf sits lazily behind his counter and looks up at you. Help you, friend?
Blood moss?
Oh. Wow. No foreplay with you, I see. You're lucky. I have a bit.
How much?
Stuff. How much do you want?
A little ball I show him the size of the last little ball I got.
That ping pong ball?
Yeah.
Well... And kind of looks at your gray skin and... How does 25 gold grab you?
It does not grab me. How about 2?
2?
All right, 3.
No can do. I mean, I'll cut it in half for 10.
So that would be like about 8 doses, half of that, or?
Yeah, it would be about half that ball. Yeah.
10 gold.
The best price you're gonna find anywhere in Norhold.
What about drugs to sort of inspire your creative juices? Like if you were about to embark upon writing a play, for instance.
Are you a writer?
I'm not, but If I wanted to get something like that, what would I get? How much would it run?
Well, there's always silver tea. I guess it depends on how much you want to spend.
How expensive is silver tea?
Not terribly. It's also mildly poisonous, though.
How mildly?
Eh. Don't drink too much, you don't throw up. Add a little bit to your wine. Makes you charming AF for a couple hours.
Does it help you with writing though, or spinning a yarn?
It definitely loosens you up.
I'm not sure he really has that problem. I'll just stick with the blood moss. I'll get the half thing.
Okay. He ducks under his stall a little bit, and you hear him rummaging around. He pulls out a small glass jar. This blood moss looks a little less healthy than what you got from Maida. But it is, I mean, it's similar enough.
Alright. I will buy it. I already took the gold off my total.
It is yours.
8 doses of blood moss. 8 doses of insanity.
Yep. Just enough to truly F yourself.
Maybe I'll get some silver tea as a parting gift. How much would it be for just like, I don't know, a present-sized little packet of silver tea?
Just like a sample size? He kind of laughs to himself.
Well, I suppose.
Silver piece. For
All right.
1 dose.
Make it 2 doses, I guess.
Alright. It gives you 2 little paper packets of what looks to be dried tea.
Okay. Alright. So I catch up with the others.
Alright, they're just outside. They're upstairs, waiting for you to come out. Rana is talking to Mile a minute.
I give
Gayle
them
standing
a
there.
winning smile to show that I wasn't up to anything suspicious.
Rana just kind of gives you an annoying look, and Oren chooses not to comment. But then Oren speaks and says, Rana's convinced us to go to the Thorned Paw.
Oh.
It's a little expensive, but I assured her you were paying, and your generosity knows no bounds.
How expensive are we talking?
Does your generosity know bounds?
Not necessarily, just let me know what the bounds are. What bounds are we operating within? Like,
it'll be fine. You wanted to experience Lordholt, right?
alright, let's go to the Thornpaw.
All right. So Oren takes the lead this time. Rana kind of hangs back and sort of nudges you. She goes, if that's too expensive, I mean, you don't have to. We can go someplace cheaper. Like, I'm just happy with a pub, but he was really insistent that we go to the fanciest place I know, and that's the fanciest place I know.
Like, how fancy are we talking? Like chandeliers?
It's got one good chandelier, yeah. It's dwarven food. You know. So it would be bad, I guess, but I mean, it can be a little bit pricey. It's really no big deal if you just want to go back to the pub.
No, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So Oren leads this little tribe to the Thorned Paw, which is extra special fancy. The dining room is huge. It's twice the size of the Dragon's Damsel, which is pretty large by pub standards. It does have a massive wrought iron chandelier that is just festooned with glass and storm glass, which is sort of the colored, naturally stained glass style of glass that comes from the Iyith wastes. So it's fairly rare. There's murals all over the walls. There's actual plant life in here, which is again something else you don't see a whole lot of in Lorehold. Plants you don't smoke. But yeah, it's got these big partitions that are filled with flowers, and it's pretty fancy. There's actual cushions on the seats, and all the tables are big, heavy old wood style tables are inlaid with iron and other silvery metals in different coat of arms style displays, and there's big axes on the wall.
Oh,
It's pretty awesome.
They don't have one of those menus at the front that you can glance at before you commit to going in.
No, it's one of those if you have to ask, you can't afford it kind of things.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So you are seated pretty quickly because you do have Orin traveling with you, and he has taken the lead on this little excursion. So he does what he does best. He goes in, he makes a scene, he gets fawned over, he signs some autographs. Big affair, and you guys get what is supposedly the best table in the restaurant. How you're supposed to know this, who knows? But it's a pretty nice table. It's by the windows, so you can see outside and people can see you, and you're by some of the plants and not too close to the fire. And it's a private table, so it's just the four of you sitting around this massive table. Menus are brought.
So what are these prices looking like?
There's no prices on the menu.
Oh, fuck me. They're really gonna gouge me.
There's no prices on the menu.
I order some wine for those and a glass of water for myself, and that's all I'm having. I'm not even ordering an appy.
What? Orin is offended.
All right, I'll order an appy. I'm Wooladon is a strict time of fasting, and I'm trying to observe the traditions as best I can.
Roll a deception.
Ha!
Oh, that's a really good deception.
Yeah.
All right. So you've successfully convinced all but Gayle that you are fasting because of Wooladon. Everyone else orders though, and it is traditional dwarven food. So while it is cleverly named and artfully described, you're still talking about rat and sheep stomach and and offal and not a whole lot of vegetables going on here, but quite a bit of underground fare that's been adapted to surface dwellers. So it's a weird mix of mosses and mushrooms and traditional style food with a sort of elvish flair and gnomish sort of roasting and other touches to it. So the food that arrives looks good. At least what the others are having. I mean, Gayle doesn't seem to be squeamish about it. Orin tucks right in. Rana, of course, is all about it. Do you want to order anything?
Well, I'll sneak a bite from Gayle's plate.
Okay. He's not happy about it, but he shares his food.
Does it taste good?
It actually does, yeah.
What did he order anyway? Did he order a rat?
No. No, he didn't order rat. You're not quite sure. He's got a bowl of what is very similar to like cream of mushroom soup. It's got that kind of woodsy taste to it. His main dish is primarily onions. There is meat there. It's not rat. It's too big to be a rat. But it kind of tastes like goat. It's definitely not beef. It might be rabbit, it might be goat. something along those lines.
All right.
It's not readily identifiable, but it's good. It's roasted well and everything, and after dinner a cake is produced. Little cakes come out, little chocolate cakes. Everyone likes them.
Are those cakes extra? I'll just ask nonchalantly.
Yes. Yes, they are. Orin says proudly. With you leaving the city and having such a wonderful adventure, and in the spirit of meeting new friends and new adventures and new opportunities.
Yes.
Thought...
I'm the one who said all this the first time round. I am happy to pay for your goddamn meal now. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I say Orin is clearly enjoying himself. Some of it probably has to do with the wine, but making your life difficult is clearly right up there. Even Gayle has started to relax a little bit, seeing how uncomfortable you are and how you have not eaten. Rather than what you've managed to sneak from his plate. They finish their meal, they finish their dessert, and they're drinking their wine and having very pleasant conversation. Gayle's loosened up a little bit, and he's chatting a little bit more as the evening wears on. And then, obviously, it's well past sundown and getting on to fairly late when Rana, just sort of out of the blue in a lull of conversation, says, "Oh my gosh, it's really getting on, isn't it? You better get you home. You're still ill."
I'm okay. I'm used to going without sleep. I'll try to get a few winks. Yeah, it's been a fun night, but it's probably time to turn in.
Everyone kind of nods. Orin is assured that you'll take care of the check as he leads Rena out of the restaurant.
Well, I'll raise my water glass before we pack up.
Oh, okay.
Say to new friends and clink glasses.
Toast, clink glasses. Orin drains his glass dry before setting it back down to the table and escorting Rana out of the restaurant, leaving you and Gayle looking at each other.
I wish I could summon my friggin' horse so we could dine and dash out of here.
So the damage comes. The waiter who has been serving you all night sweeps by, ascertains that nothing else is needed, that your meals were good and everyone is happy, and
everything was excellent.
Okay. Grand total, the grand damage is 15 gold pieces.
Motherfucker! Do you take Electrum?
I suppose.
Oh, really?
Is that what you have?
I have a lot of it, yep.
Well, it's unusual, but I guess. How much Electrum do you have?
118.
See, you got plenty.
Well, I've got lots of money. So I guess that would be 100 Electrum and 5 gold.
How much is Electrum again? I always forget.
It's between silver and gold, so I'm assuming it's 10.
Let me look. I always get confused with Electrum. Are you trying to look it up faster?
Well, we'll see who gets there first.
That's exactly what I just suggested.
It's not a competition, though.
It is a competition.
I think I'm going to lose.
I can't see. There it is. Electrum. 1 Electrum. Oh, no. It's, 1 gold piece is 2 Electrum.
Oh, so, wow, I'm swimming in fucking money.
Yeah, so you're good.
Okay, so 15, that would be 30 Electrum.
Yeah, it's platinum that's 110.
Ah.
Or 1 platinum is 10 gold.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so okay, so I've been tipping. These people have been turning their noses up at Electrum when I've been tipping them Electrum? Bunch of
Well, Electrum's just weird. That's all. It's not that it's not valuable, it's just weird. It's like taking dollar coins.
So
in
is he
America.
happy if I give him 30 Electrum?
Yeah, he'll take it.
Awesome!
He's not gonna turn down money. He's not dumb.
That brings me back up to good mood status.
Again, it's similar to like an out-of-state check. It's it's suspicious, but he'll take it.
I throw in an extra 5 Electrum for him
Ooh,
as a tip.
Very nice.
Buy yourself something nice.
There you go. Big spender. The bill is settled. Ran and Orem are gone for the night. They've disappeared.
What? We're not all gonna walk home?
No, apparently they split because they're not outside the restaurant.
Fuck! I didn't even give them the silver tea. I'm keeping it for myself now. God
Well,
damn
Ran
it.
is gonna see you tomorrow.
Oh yeah. But still, they took off without me. They're just fucking
Orem bailed, yeah.
bastards.
I don't think he thought you had the money to cover the check.
That's
So you got the hell out of Dodge.
I'll say to Gayle, they probably didn't go back to Oren's place to bone. Don't worry about it.
I hate you so much.
I'm really sorry. I didn't expect them to get along so well.
Can we just go back?
He's all styled though. Your substance.
Just stop.
As she gets to know him better, she'll realize that if she wants, the real meat, the real, the real protein, she has to go to you.
Crazy. Can we? I just want to go to bed. Can we just?
Yeah, we got a long day tomorrow.
He trudges his way back to the Dragon's Damsel.
I'll make all of this up to you somehow, Gayle.
No, you won't.
What do you want? What do you want more than anything else in the whole
Nothing.
world?
I want nothing. I want to go to sleep.
Well, you think about it.
I just want to go to sleep. Be done. You broke, Gayle. Good job. You guys make your way back to the pub, and it is very late. It is very late. Gayle doesn't even look at the barmaid. Just trudges up the stairs, playing a little bit at the landing, and goes back to his room.
I really need to do something nice for Gayle. I go up to the barmaid. Is it the one who hates me?
No, it's the other one. It's the one that you
Okay.
didn't. It's not the one who hates you. Oops.
So my friend has had a rough night, and I was thinking he could possibly use some female companionship. Do you know how I could go about arranging that?
Well, there's literally an entire section of the city lined with whorehouses.
Yeah, but I want it to be a surprise. I don't want to have to take him to a whorehouse.
I'm sure we could arrange something.
Alright.
He didn't look particularly enthusiastic, though.
I think he'll cheer up once he if you could arrange like one who's skilled in first timers and coaxing the reluctant.
Reluctant.
I mean, he may not be into it right off the bat, but when it's done, he'll be happy, I'm sure.
Okay, I can send. She looks legitimately concerned. But poor Gayle. I can see who we can find.
We're leaving tomorrow, so it has to be tonight.
It's awful late, but yeah, I'll try.
I'll pay if money is an issue. I can cover it.
Okay, I'm sure they'll want paid. Female though, you said.
Probably. Maybe. Is there any way I could get like a package deal, like one of each, and see which one he goes for?
I suppose.
Would I get a discount for that?
She
Like
looks
buying
very
in
uncomfortable
bulk?
with this whole conversation. I'm not sure. Um, I can ask.
Okay.
What does he like? Like, is he into gnomes or dwarves, or is he one of those humans only kind of people? Or
I'd say he's into dwarves. Rana was a dwarf, wasn't she?
yeah, Rana was definitely a dwarf.
Okay. I'd say dwarves.
So one male, one female dwarf. How do you tell them apart?
Well, no, actually, I don't know about. I'd say female dwarf, male human, because maybe I'm imagining things, but I think he might have been giving Davin the eye twice. Maybe it's just because they're close in age.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'll find who I can find.
All right, thanks. I'll just wait here while you arrange that.
She kind of excuses herself for a moment, goes out in the back. A couple minutes later. Well, I sent a messenger. So we'll see what comes of it, I guess. And we can always settle in the morning if you'd like to turn in.
All right.
Trust you're good for it.
Yep.
And if not, they'll break your legs, so.
No, I'm good for it.
Alright. Well, good night then. You need to roll a constitution check.
Check.
Yeah. Okay. No bueno. So what do you do?
In the morning?
Are you gonna go to bed?
Oh well, I'm gonna wait to see if these whatchamacallit, ladies and gentlemen of the night show up.
Okay. Are you gonna wait downstairs? Or are you gonna wait upstairs?
I'll wait downstairs.
Okay. So yeah, a little time passes, and lo and behold, a human male, a little older than you were expecting. He's probably mid-20s. Fair hair and blue-eyed. Decent-looking kid. And a female dwarf. Doesn't look terribly traditional though. She dresses very cosmopolitan, very much in the style of Laura Holt. Her hair is just sort of clipped back into a ponytail, and not pretty. She didn't have a beard though. She looks very modern. But as they enter the Dragon's Damsel, the barmaid kind of gives you like a very not at all subtle, here's your pores look.
On second thought, guys, I'm thinking this might be a bad idea. I point to the human, you look too much like me. And, and you, I mean, now that I see you, I think he's just gonna think I'm tormenting him by rubbing his nose in what he's not getting. So yeah, sorry to call you out. I'll pay you still, like not the full rate, but I'll give you something for your trouble.
The guy nods. Fair enough, I suppose, for the trip. And puts out a hand.
So what is the full rate?
Well, that depends on services rendered. I mean, our time is relatively valuable.
How about 5 electrum each?
Electrum?
It's 2.5 gold.
And they kind of look at one another, and the dwarf shrugs. I suppose, if that's what you have.
Fresh from the treaty woods.
Oh, okay. Sort of pocket it. Bid the barmaid a good night, bid you a good night. They see a couple of regulars as they're walking out. Just people that are still kind of hanging around the pub in the wee hours. There's lots of wavings and hey, how you doing? And then they leave. And the barmaid says, I'm sorry. Best I could do?
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it was probably a bad idea. What do teenagers like anyway, aside from whores?
She just laughs. It's been a while since I've been a teenager.
Yeah, I sort of skipped that. Oh well, I'll think about it. If you could, if he gets up before me, if you could maybe try to coax out of him what would make him happy.
Okay. He looks like a nice kid.
Yeah, he is.
If I'm here, I'll talk to him.
Thanks.
You look like hell, though. You should
Yeah,
probably sleep.
I'm going to bed.
Head upstairs to your room.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Yep.
Another long, heavy, dreamless sleep.
Not for days, though, I hope.
No, just just overnight.
Okay.
But yeah, full 8 hours, and you sleep past on.
Damn it.
Not too much, but you're not up at daybreak like you're used to. You still have that very heavy, leaden limbs feeling about you.
Damn it.
So you get up in the morning, you trundle downstairs, still feeling mildly, again, hungover is not a great word, but it'll do.
Okay.
Still feel kind of leaden-limbed. Gayle is up before you, sitting glumly at a table near the window, eating a bowl of, looks like oatmeal or porridge or something. He's just poking at it.
This is like, day 5 or 6 without alcohol. Like, playing in character, there's no way Xylund would, even knowing the consequences, he's got to have a drink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at this point, again, while you were sleeping, obviously it wasn't a factor. The brocaine's been out of your system now for 3 days. You're still suffering from kind of with the withdrawal of it, but yeah, given Xylund's propensity for drug use and alcohol, a drink probably wouldn't be out of the question.
So before joining Gayle, I'll sidle over to the bar and get a shot of vodka.
Okay, it's potato ale.
Potato ale. Slam it down.
Just to steady you a little bit.
Well, I'll wait 30 seconds to see how that went down, make sure it doesn't kill me.
Roll a Constitution check. No, you're still alive.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm. You don't feel any better, but you're upright.
Do I feel like I did any damage to myself? Like, do I feel weird at all, or?
No, you feel about the same.
Yeah, I'll tap the counter, the bar again for another.
Okay. Go ahead.
Fine.
Okay. Yep. So far, so good.
All right, I'll just leave it at that and go join Gayle.
Okay, so I feel a little steadier, a little more normal. You still kind of have that tired feeling though.
Okay.
But you've been pushing it pretty hard. You sidle up to Gayle, poking at his oatmeal.
You'll be happy to know that I ordered you some horrors last night, but then thought better of it at the last moment. Because I care about you, Gayle.
He just looks up at you. You ordered me horrors because you care about me? Or you sent them away because you care about me?
Both.
It seems to be counterproductive, doesn't it?
Yep. But just to save some time and expense next time, I ordered a dwarf woman and a male human. Which of those would you have preferred? So I don't order two next time.
Just don't order any next time.
But just
I don't
for the sake of...
just don't. I don't get your preoccupation with my sex life.
It's not a preoccupation. I'm just trying to help you relax.
I am relaxed. Very relaxed. Thought we were leaving.
We gotta talk to this guy first.
What guy?
The bookkeeper.
Oh, yeah.
Has Rana shown up yet?
No. I expect she'll be along shortly, though.
If she's wearing the same clothes as yesterday, don't assume anything.
Why would you even, like, I wouldn't have even thought. Such an ass.
Pay it no mind, Gayle.
Just gonna hire a coach and go home. Whatever's going on in Greylock has to be better than what's going on here.
Well, last we heard it was sealed off, so you might not be able to get in there.
I'm a cleric of the Mount. I can go wherever I want.
Oh yeah? Okay. Well, you should probably stick with us then, because we're gonna have to go back there.
Thanks for the concern, friend. And yes, true to his word, true to his prophecy, Rana does come popping in not terribly long after this conversation. It's difficult to tell if she's wearing the same clothes as the night before because she wears clerical vestments, so...
We should have marked them somehow.
But she, greets you both and says, "Okay, bookkeeper, right?"
Yep.
His name is Kobak. I found a shop on the way here because I know you guys said you were in a hurry, and I don't want to keep you if you don't want to be kept. So if you guys are done with your breakfast, and then she looks at you and she kind of pats your hand a little bit. Have you eaten? Because you still don't.
Oh, I should get some food. I'll get some hash browns.
Okay. Just eat while we walk?
I eat fast.
Okay.
Is the waitress that doesn't hate me still here?
Yes, it's still the night maid. Yeah, it's
okay.
It's the one who doesn't hate you.
Yeah, I go over. Can I get some hash browns? And also, did you talk to my friend at all, or did you get the chance? Or
She kind of gives you a sort of a little sad half look. I tried, but he seems really upset. I'll get you your food though.
Thanks.
Yeah, she comes back with some hash browns pretty quickly.
Shovel them down.
Yeah. Rana's raring to go. Gayle just looks miserable.
Do you want some hash browns, Gayle?
No.
Hash browns.
Just eat your food. Turn you in myself. Eat your food.
I don't know why you would say that, Gil. Everyone loves Limpy.
Get a lot of puffs and huffs. And Ran's just chatting away. Because yeah, this Kopak guy, I guess he's a pretty big deal. He's got a really nice shop.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But you and Oren seem to get along pretty well. Do you think you're going to...
I'm seriously considering it. He seems like he honestly is looking for someone to sort of chronicle what's going on. He says the idea came to him in a dream. And he just sort of latched onto it.
Did I mention it to him?
That's how you introduced Gayle.
Oh,
You
I
said
thought
Gayle
I
was your
might have.
biographer. And that he followed you around chronicling your adventures.
Plagiarism? Stealing my ideas? He's just a born plagiarist.
So I was thinking that I could probably do. He says it's just going to be sort of part time, so I can maybe do it in my spare time, for a little while, anyway, and not have it interfere with my regular duties.
Alright. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. It was really nice of you to introduce us. I will admit, when you said that you were friends with him, I didn't quite believe you because Gail says you're on a lot of drugs. But
I haven't done drugs for days.
it's just what he said. He might have been joking. I don't know. Gail jokes a lot. Gail does not look like he's in a joking mood.
Yeah, Gale's a real funny guy.
He's pretty stone-faced right now. But no, it was great, and I had so much fun last night. But you guys have business to do, and I have to get back before too long. I've been taking way too much time out in the city.
So are you guys, are you and Gale, after we leave, gonna keep in touch, like pen pals or something like that?
If he wants to, sure.
I'm sure he'd love to.
Gale's just not engaging. He's shut down. Guy pokes at him a little bit. Did you not get enough sleep? I still think you should stay longer, but very well. Let's get this done and over with. I need to get back. He leads you out of the Dragon's Damsel back into the Ironhelm markets, which are starting to pick up, get a little busier. She takes you not terribly far, a few blocks away, to a storefront. It does look super nice. It's sort of surrounded by pawn shops, but it in of itself is not. But it's got a massive storefront window. It's got all kinds of like gold lettering and stuff. It's got a big heavy door to it. The name on the door is Kobach. And underneath it says bookkeeper. And that's it.
Kobach. How do you spell Kobach?
I will put it in that. It's Kobach.
Oh, how did you spell Varian?
Oops.
Have I seen that name before?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So we go in.
All right. Standing behind, or sitting behind the massive counter, is a fairly old-looking dwarf, male dwarf, bald, but very, very silver hair, massive beard, plated in. It's not traditional, but it's definitely like old style. He's got kind of the Viking beard going on, but dressed very respectably. He's got his vest and very subdued jewelry, and he kind of looks up over his little glass bifocals at you, trooping into his establishment, and kind of looks at you, mildly confused. Looks at Gayle and looks over at Anna, who's just smiling and happy.
Oh, I rehashed myself, I should have said.
I figured,
okay.
You have the ashes in your room. I figured you rehashed yourself.
Okay.
I was like, how can I help you folks today?
We were wondering if you perhaps have a copy of The Song of Silence by Varian, the genius. We saw a performance last night at the theater, and we're very impressed.
Oh, why? I handle his affairs, certainly. Could probably get you a copy. You're just fans?
Yep.
Well, he doesn't usually sell copies like this, but...
Well, if we could just take a look at it, I mean, that'd be enough.
Oh, well, you just want to see it. I suppose I could get that for you. He sort of trundles off in the back. Back a few moments later, with a sort of a hand-stitched thing of parchment. And here it is. Signed by the author.
Oh, wow. So, are there any tables in here where I could sit down and take a look at this, or?
There's one tiny table, like it's definitely dwarven sized,
Oh, yeah.
with chairs off to one side, just sort of pushed up by the window. That's about it. This doesn't look like the kind of place where a lot of people sit down.
Okay. I'll just hold it open so the others can see, and I'll flip through it and try to read it. See if it's not too thick, is it? How long would it take to read the whole thing?
No, you can buzz through it pretty quickly, especially since you kind of already know what's going on.
Okay, I'm mainly looking for the name of the woman, but if there's anything else interesting in here.
Okay.
That...
It's pretty vague. Like the character names aren't really given. There's narrator. There are the two dragons. They are named in the script. The dragons are named in the script. But the woman who comes in at the end is only described as an elvish sorceress. She's not actually given a name.
How was she? What was her costume in the play again?
She wore white and gold and blue. She had dark hair, which was worn long, and she had elvish style jewelry to her. So a lot of silver, a little more finely crafted, more delicate than dwarven craft usually is.
Got it. Actually, how much would this cost?
This particular, or just any old copy?
It doesn't have to be signed necessarily. Although, how much would it cost for a signed copy?
Oh, I could part with this one for 5 gold.
Do you take Electrum?
Yes, I could take Electrum. I don't see that too often, but certainly. I like that your answer to everything. You take Electrum. That's all I have.
I have other stuff. It's just I'm trying to whittle down this massive pile of Electrum I have.
Yes.
Okay, I'll pay him 5 gold for this signed copy then.
Okay.
I'm not sure
Pockets
what copy of his signature what use that'll be, but maybe it'll be useful for something. I don't know.
He's pretty well known around here anyway. As a playwright and author sort of thing.
Have you met Varian then?
Oh, of course. Yes.
What's he like?
Oh, usual creative type. Head in the clouds. That's why he hires me, of course, to keep track of his finances, make sure he doesn't go broke, keep himself in food, roof over his head, that sort of thing.
Oh, so you know Orin too then?
Bard, if I recall.
He and Varian aren't associates, to your knowledge?
Well, I don't get into my clients' personal lives. That would be bad for business.
Silverian, is he like an elf or?
That's a pretty odd question.
Is he in town? Is it possible to meet him?
He is out of town, is my understanding.
Where does he live?
He has his own home here in Lorehold. Also not in the habit of giving out clients' addresses. Bad for business.
All right. Well, next time you see him, tell him we're great admirers of his play and tell him to keep it up.
And your name?
Klasm Limpy Schlazerum.
I actually have that still written down. So I can spell it. I will do that. Definitely. And if you're interested in any of Varian's many works, you can always come back.
Oh, actually, could we take a look at a few of them?
Do you have one in mind?
Well, give me a sampling of the titles.
I'd have to go look. And sort of trundles off to the back, comes back once again with a few bound clumps of parchment. Goes, what do we have here? We have The Damsel in the Tower. That's one of his early ones. We have A Fortnight in Loreholt. That one's not particularly popular either. We have the Maiden of Freyhaven. Now this one is only carried by particular theater companies.
So how many plays in all has he produced?
Oh, has he written? Oh. I'd have to check my records, but easily a dozen. These are just the ones I have copies of currently. He's one of those burn the old and build the new sorts.
Would it be possible to find any of his others around?
You could try hitting up the theater troops, but they don't usually keep things like this. Normally it stays with the playwright or his estate.
Would you mind if we took a look at these?
No, that's fine. Public record. Go ahead.
Okay. How long would it take to read all these plays?
Not terribly long. They're not long in and of themselves. The Maiden in the Tower, or Damsel in the Tower, is about a younger elven girl, according to what he's written. It's kind of a creepypasta sort of tale. Like, she's trapped in her own house, and the house has become a maze, and she can't get out. And eventually, the house eats her.
That kind of sounds like Ori.
The first one. Fortnight in Lorehold is kind of a Catcher in the Rye meets Fear and Loathing sort of story. It's the tale of a dragonborn in Lorehold, and it's just him basically wandering the city for 2 weeks, and all the weird individuals that he meets, and sort of the weird sights that he sees. And the way it's written, you're never quite sure what's a hallucination and what's actually happening. It's very much up his own butt. Very much up his own butt. It's really experimental, and it's really out there, and there's just these huge blocks of soliloquies that he writes for this main character. But yeah, it's very Catcher in the Rye. And then Maiden of Freyhaven is slightly longer, definitely bawdier than the other two. It's kind of constructed as a comedy, and it is about a female theater troupe member and singer who tends to prefer ladies, and develops a reputation for seducing women of noble birth and then dueling their husbands to the death because she's also an expert sword fighter. So it's very farcical and it's very bombastic and it's super funny, and there's even a couple songs that have been written into that one for the lead actress to sing. So you can, but yeah, it's definitely the most scandalous of the three.
That token, the favor token that we got, it could be traced back to Freyhaven, correct?
Yeah, it's a cob. It's a pirate cob. Yeah.
How much for these three, ask? Or not necessarily these three, they don't have to be autographed, but
Well, these aren't autographed. They're just they look like they would be theater copies. They're just rough theater copies.
how much?
For all three?
Yeah. Do I get a package deal?
Yeah. Just take him gold piece. I got plenty in the back. This is some of his old stuff.
That's still interesting.
Oh, yeah. He's in demand.
Do you know where he went?
No, I don't ask. It's bad for business.
Pretty mysterious fellow, then.
Well, artistic type, you know.
Plays Song of Silence.
Damsel in the Tower.
Damsel in the Tower.
Fortnight in Loreholt.
Fortnite.
Maiden of Freyhaven.
Can't believe you had all this stuff prepared.
It's here.
I believe you. It's just
This is what I do. I don't make maps for crap. My combats are always garbage, but if you want weird stuff and bizarre NPCs, I'm your girl.
this is exactly what I want. That's awesome. Okay. So yeah, I say goodbye to Kobach, and pleasure doing business with you.
If you ever need a bookkeeper.
Yep. So as we leave, I'd say to Rana, so me and Gayle should probably get going. I think you two should keep in touch. And maybe like Oren is a good guy, and he's definitely talented and all that, but just as I said before, he's a volatile artistic type, so just watch yourself around him, I guess.
Oh, I think I'll be fine. I don't think he's into dwarves.
Maybe not. Why did you guys have an encounter last night? And things didn't go super well?
No, he walked me home.
Oh, okay, good. See, Gayle, nothing happened.
Oh my god. Gayle just closes his eyes, just looks down at the floor. Like, please, Darrell, swallow me up. And Rana kind of laughs nervously. Well, I'm glad to have met you, MP. It has definitely been an experience.
Yeah, I'll hopefully next time I'm in Loreholt, we can get together again and see another show.
Yes. There's so much more stuff to see. I'd love to show you all of it. Look me up, or have Gayle look me up when you're here next.
Yeah, my first impression of Loreholt was pretty terrible, but this second time I wouldn't mind living here. There's a lot going on here.
It's not bad if you ignore the murders in the street and the general corruption. It's not bad.
And the slavery and
Yeah. We have our problems, but we have our bright spots too.
If it could be reformed, though, I mean, this place would be pretty awesome.
This place is all about reform. Burn it all down and build it all up again. What we're known for.
All
You
right.
guys travel safe and no more brocane, maybe. Just the thought.
Well, I only have one more dose.
Oh
So
Maybe don't use that
a
one.
limit to the amount of damage I can do to myself.
She kind of waves and wanders back off to her duties. Gayle just stands there glaring at you.
I was trying to set your mind at ease.
Don't. Can we go now?
I just can't do anything right, can I, Gayle?
No. No, you can't. Can we go now?
Yeah. But this is interesting. Like, we found out a shitload of stuff here.
Yes, it's very interesting.
Aren't you? You're not interested. I mean, this is why you came, isn't it? To find out stuff about the world and mysteries and
Yes.
lore and...
This is all fascinating.
Then what is the problem?
Can we go? Can we just go?
Alright, we go.
Where are we going?
We're gonna go to... where's... Okay, so... We went to Hollowacre from Northshire?
Mm-hmm.
So, presumably I could find my way from Northshire to Hollowacre.
Well, yeah, considering it burned down, it's... Yeah, people are gonna know where it is.
And then from there, maybe I could find my way to Thalu the dragon.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. You guys followed Prince there the first time, which clearly you probably won't have this time. But it was not very far. So, yeah, you should be able to locate it with a minimal amount of searching.
Is Northshire on the map that you put up on your portal page?
Did I? I don't know if I put it up on the map or not. It's not far from Greylock at all. It's just a little ways north. I might have. It's on my paper map.
How far off the
Map.
beaten track is Camp Finalis?
You want to go to Camp Finalis?
I'm just wondering. Like, it seems like a long journey. I'm just wondering if there's any places I can hit along the way to make it get more bang for my buck.
Camp Finalis is in the opposite direction. I mean,
Okay.
obviously you're going to Greylock, but both Northshire and Hollowacre and Uthalu are all to the north of the trade road, and Camp Finalis is down south into the Treaty Woods. No, I don't think I put Northshire on the map. I put Hollowacre though.
Is Hollowacre the fire on the map?
The fire, yeah.
Okay.
Hollowacre's the fire.
That's a long journey. So whereabouts is... Shit, I didn't know it was that far. So getting over here to Lorehold, did I pass by Hollowacre, or was I already...
No, you were past it. You were further east.
So there's no way I'm going to beat the others to their... Since they've got a... yeah.
Well, it depends. Again, I'm not sure if they're going to Hollowacre. I don't know that they're going to go see Uthalu. I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know if they know what they're doing either.
Well, do you want to cut here as you guys are leaving Lorehold, and then we pick back up once I've had a kobold session?
I guess that'd be the way to do it, because they've got, even on foot, even if they don't get a horse, I can't see how, unless I broke in up again, which seems like a really bad idea. I've spent like 9 days, basically, or 8 days in the opposite direction from the way they're going. So physically I can't. if they do go to Uthalu, they'll get there before me.
If they go to Uthalu.
Yeah, so we should probably wait.
Okay. You broke Gayle.
That should be the name of the...
That's the name of the episode.
Xylund breaks
broke
Gayle.
Gayle.